something in your ear. Wait, no, does that mean today's the day? Dawn, 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 dawn. Oh my god. Dawn, 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 dawn. Oh my god, oh my god. Dawn, 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 dawn. Hey, Mitch. Yeah, Mitch, what's up? Wait, what the F? You guys can talk to me? Yeah. We've been able to talk to you this whole time. What do you mean this whole time you guys have been able to talk to me? We have been talking to you, Mitch. You just weren't listening. No effing way. Yeah, we have a question for you. Will you be will you officiate our wedding, please? You guys want me to officiate your wedding? But I'm not even a priest or rabbi or pastor or like legally licensed to officiate weddings. It's all good. Okay. Sure, I mean, I've never done it before, but here goes nothing, I guess. We are gathered here today to celebrate these two souls. What is love? Is it something you can hold on to? Is it real? Is it physical? Is it in your brain like chemicals? Or is it something magical in the air that falls through your fingertips? We gather here today to celebrate, to join these two in holy matrimony as recognized by the state of New Jersey. Do you, little alien, take the other little alien to be married? Yeah. Duh. That's why we're having a effing wedding, you freaking idiot. Do you, other little alien, take the other little alien to be wed? Why, yes, I do. Well, I pronounce you. Wait, everybody's been dying to know, are you guys like yaoi? Are you guys lesbian, gay,
Anymore.
boy and girl. Oh, well, the answer's simple, really. Stop the wedding. What the F? Stop the wedding. I object. I didn't even ask if anybody objected because I thought that would be too messy. I object. I object. Oh, you got a little piece of hair on you or something. Oh my God. Dude. You're alive. Wait, yeah, I thought you died.
What the fuck?
I didn't die. It was all part of my mission. What the F does that mean? It's simple, really. I've been practicing at the academy.
I'm sorry.
At the agency.
I'm sorry. The video's really long. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It's good though. It's good though. All right. Hi Raven. Hi Cal. Hi Fox. Hi Cryptid. Hi Cody. Hi. Is that it? Is that all we got for now? I think that's all we got for now. Hi, Captain C. Yeah, the ats are back. I saw the ats are back, dude. I'm pissed off. It's like they roll them out for like random reasons. I don't know why. I don't know why they keep rolling them out like this. Okay. I've watched a bunch of the horror movies. There's 2 of them that we're going to watch in the community, okay? There's 2 of them that we're going to save, and I'm going to do them in like my Discord, and we can join together. We'll do like a watch party. That's going to be Killer Sofa and then Poultry Guys. So those 2, they're not going to get added in until we all watch it together. But for the movies that I have not talked about yet, I watched, so over the week that I haven't talked about them, I watched Scream, Alien, Haunt, Thesis, and Lake Mungo. Oh, and I talked about this one. And it's getting harder to rank these because I don't know where to put some of these. It's getting hard to rank these because I don't know how to put some of these. Some of these might move in different places. Some of them might not. But right now, because here's what I got to say. I don't like Alien at B, but I don't like Alien at A. And the reason why I don't like... Left to right matters, by the way. Left to right matters. Alien is a great movie. But Alien needs Aliens and Alien 3. It needs the sequels to really wrap it up. Alien alone is good, but it's not like on the same level as The Thing. And the reason why I have Scream at A is because although Scream is like a tad bit corny, that's what the movie tries to do. I feel like the movie tries very hard to be like somewhat comedic. There's a lot of comedic breaks in it. There's a lot of comedic parts in it. And I feel like it's trying to be somewhat comedic and also a scary movie at the same time. And I like that about Scream. It's fun. It's entertaining. But I don't like Alien and B with Grave Encounters and Haunt because Grave Encounters is good, but in a funny, goofy, shit movie way. It's not on the same tier as like Alien being like this actual like groundbreaking, really good movie. Because I like the design of the alien for a 70s movie that's like incredible. But I just can't see myself putting it in the same category in these 2 movies that do their job extremely well. When this one, the only reason why I don't want to put it up there is because it needs the other movies to wrap it up. Like, it feels unfinished. The first movie, it feels unfinished at the end, but that's because there are other movies where it gets wrapped up because Ripley, keeps going. It feels unfinished in the first one. So that's why I have it at B, at the top of B. And then Haunt. Okay, I watched Haunt, and I'll say this. I'll say this. Haunt was a bad movie for the first 30, maybe the half of the movie. It was a terrible movie. And then, and in the second half, it kind of locks in a little bit. It went from feeling like a really shitty TikToker movie to, okay, it kind of locked in. Like, the main character goes from being this like really retarded I'm not going to do anything character. She sits there and does nothing for majority of the movie until halfway through. And that's, I kind of like that. She goes from being like this scaredy cat who won't do anything. She refuses to do anything. She refuses to help anybody to, it's only her and like one other guy left. She's got to lock the fuck in so she can get out of here. So she locks the fuck in and finally decides, I'm going to like actually do something about it. I'm going to fight back and I'm actually going to like get out of here. So that's what I kind of like about it, but it's extremely corny. It's extremely corny. It gets really corny near the end. But the problem is I don't want to put it in C. Oh, why is it lagging? Because these movies down here are C's. And I feel like it's a disservice to Haunt because it's not that bad. Which brings me to the other two in C that I have not talked about yet. Thesis and Lake Mungo. Now, I already explained Tales from the Hood. It's at the top of C because I feel like it's a good movie, but not at the same... It's not a good movie. It's an anthology, and most of the stories are pretty... It's not that it's a bad movie. It's a good movie because it's made for the brothers, all right? It's made for the brothers. But it's not like the stories or anything like drastic or game-changing, which is why it's not going in B, but it's a fun movie. It's at the top of C because it's a fun movie. Thesis is a slow... It's kind of a slow movie, and it has a lot of parts where it just... Thesis has a lot of parts where it's like... There's two characters, right? Okay, so the way this movie goes, because I'm imagining half of you have not seen this movie at all. Thesis is about this girl who is in like film school, and she has to review like disturbing horror to write her thesis for her class. Her teacher dies in a room, like the guy who's supposed to review her paper dies in a room watching a really fucked up horror movie because he found it in a room. He found it in this room. He wanted to watch it, so he went over it. He watched it, and he dies. But that's because he has like asthma. He's old, and he must have passed away from like the horrifyingness of the film because it's like torture. It's essentially snuff. The movie itself is not snuff. I want to make that very clear. The films that they stumble upon is snuff, and the movie goes back and forth and making it seem like it's this guy. No, it's this guy, and they're two dudes that she trusts but doesn't trust at the same exact fucking time. And it just keeps going back and forth that like, oh, maybe it's this guy. Well, it looks like it's going to be this guy. And then it looks like it's going to be this guy. And the whole movie, I could tell first, okay, she makes a friend with the main dude, Chima. And he's like a horror nut who loves like disturbing horror films and whatnot. And the entire film, I can tell it's not him. I can tell that from the beginning that they're just going to frame him as the guy who's doing all the killings in the videos. And it's not him. He's obviously not the one doing it. It's so blatantly obvious. It's this other guy that was like friends with Chima or whatever. The only plot twist of this movie that's interesting is that the school is actually in on it, kind of. They're the ones who like edit the films. And then by the end of the movie, it finally wraps up saying like, no, it's actually the other dude and Chima's innocent, whatever. It's too much. It's too much. It just does too much. And it puts it in C because of that. It's fine as a movie as a whole, but it does too much. And then that leaves Lake Mungo. And I apologize to Cryptid. This isn't a hate on the movie, but this is probably the slowest burn I think I've ever seen in my entire life. This movie is the definition of a slow burn. But the problem is, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this in. It's not even a slow burn because there's nothing happens, by the way. I want to make this very clear. Nothing happens in this movie. Nothing. Literally nothing happens. And I'm not saying this. Okay, I'm not saying this like it's a god-awful movie. If I thought it was god-awful, I'd put it in D. I get the premise. I get what it's trying to do. But unless you're a fan of like unless you're a fan of documentary films, this movie is not for you at all. This movie is really, really boring if you're not into documentary. If you're into documentary, you might like it. But if you're not into documentary, you're gonna be bored as shit in this movie. It is literally a mockumentary about a grieving family who lost their daughter. There's a lot of parts in the movie that feel like I kind of feel like is a tad bit of filler, but I understand why they add it. It's essentially about the family who's grieving, and then the ending is like, I feel like the ending is like them getting their closure. Hi, Mira. Which I think is great, but as for a horror, it's not scary. There is no scare factor. There's maybe one part that's scary, and it's the part when the girl is like recording herself walking down at the lake, and then she sees her future self, her dead future self. It seems like a really good movie. Like I said, if you're a fan of documentaries, you're gonna like it, I guess, but it's not like listen, slow horror movies are amazing, but this isn't. Okay, Raven, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. There is no horror. There is no horror in this. Like, at least in a violent nature, there is killing, right? There is like death. The killer goes after people and he kills people. There is no killing in this movie. It is just the girl who dies. That is it. That is all it is. And you know the girl is dead from the beginning. A slow movie needs massive payoff. That's my problem. It's a slow movie with little to no payoff. Because at the end of the day, the movie essentially, or it feels like a waste of time. That's the problem I have with Lake Mungo is if I wanted to watch a documentary about some girl's death or something, I'd just watch a real documentary, because at least I'm learning about someone who actually died, not a like fake film of a death. I can understand why someone will like it. I can understand why someone might like it if they like documentaries, which is why I have it in C and not in D. But it doesn't do anything special. I really, like, no offense, Cryptid, but saying you don't appreciate art, I don't understand how this is art. And I will say this. A lot of the reviews are either 10 out of 10s or 1 out of 10s. It is no in between. There is no in between for this movie. There's either people who think this movie is like fucking beautiful masterpiece, or you have the other half that's like, fuck, what did I just watch? This is boring. And I'm in the middle. I see the vision. I don't like the output. I see the vision. I don't like the output. I feel like I wish there was more, and there wasn't more. That's what I'm saying. It has a very specific audience. I don't think I'm that audience. I tried to like it. There were a lot of times where I tried to like it. I'm not going to spoil what happens in the movie, but like I said, there's quite literally nothing. Every time there's a part where you maybe learn something, it realistically means nothing. It's not that it means nothing. It does have like a meaning. But like, for example, I'll say this because it's explained at the beginning pretty much. The girl is haunting the family. She's technically haunting the family. They put cameras around their house because she's in the house, and in the cameras, they're catching the girl walking around, right? Their daughter. I want to make this very clear. Not at one point, never does she ever make any sort of weird... I'm not asking her to go fucking full Conjuring and go fucking ballistic in the house, but she does nothing. It is literally just her walking by a camera or her standing in the back of a picture, and then they're just like, whoa. I didn't think ghosts were real, but me thinks ghosts real now. That's literally the entire movie. And then it gets to a part where it's like, oh, turns out she actually had a life that nobody knew about. Like, oh, there was things going on in her life that nobody knew about, and it was kind of depressing and kind of fucked up, and it's like, okay, that's, I mean, yeah, that's, you know, it adds something, but it doesn't add enough for me to be like, this is a beautiful movie or anything. Even the reason for her death is, in my opinion, just kind of bland. It's just kind of bland. Is it a thriller movie? I would say it's more of a mystery. It's kind of a mystery. Marcus horror movie when Marcus, Ginger, and Taro are running from Riru. True, that should be it. It's like a mystery, I would say. I don't, like I said, I don't really think this is a horror. I don't even know if I'd consider it. It's not, okay, it's scary. It's eerie. It's eerie. That's what I will call it. It's an eerie movie, but it's not like, here's what I'll say. Ignore the tomato meter on the left that says 96%. That's like fucking retard. These are the critics or whatever. The popcorn meter is the people, like people. 62% is what I would 100% put this at. I'd say like a 65. This is what I think it is. It is like a 65%. It's well within this little range right here of a 60 to 65 of like, it's okay, but you're going to be kind of bored if you're not a fan of documentary. Is it a terror movie? No, like I said, Raven, it is a documentary. It's a mockumentary. So it's a fake documentary. All it is just like the crew talking to the family and kind of getting to the bottom of how she died and finding all the things that are the reasons why she died. And then the ending, and I hate to send spoilers, all right? But the ending is quite literally the family just says, I don't think she's with us anymore. And then they leave they move out the house. They move out the house and they move on. Because my assumption is they found closure. You know, they found closure because now they know why their daughter died and what went on. And now they're like, all right, I guess it's time we move on. And that's literally the ending. The ending is they found closure, they move on, and then that's the end. The daughter doesn't haunt anybody. She doesn't do any like crazy, you know, haunting stuff. Nothing scary. She just stands in she kind of just stands in the back of pictures. She walks kind of by in like videos that they recorded. The only scary part is like in one of the videos, she's standing over one of the parents while they're sleeping, but she doesn't do anything. She just stands there. And then that's it. The only scary part I would say that is scary is like I said, the part when she's actually at the lake. So she was recording on her phone. She's at the lake and then she comes across like a figure. Again, I hate to be a bear, like I hate to spoil, but the figure is her. And it's like, it makes like a loud noise. The people put in like a loud noise and it kind of scared me a little bit. But that's it. That's really all there is. That's the movie. I think this is like for now the proper rating. I think it depends on what we get next because I'm starting to think that The Thing needs to be up here. And then Alien.
Hello, princess.
I shot ropes to this stream. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Goat Cato.
Thank you for the
Hi,
memberships.
Romeo.
Welcome at Goat Cato
I'm starting to think
_
that maybe this is like the ranking that should be what I'm looking at. Like maybe something more like this. The Thing at S, Scream, and then Alien. Because I really think Alien should be an A. But like I said, I don't feel like it's in that same realm. But I think top B is like where it should be. I think that's where it should be. We still got a few more movies to go. Like I said, I don't want to reiterate myself, but Killer Sofa and Poultrygeist are two movies that I'm going to watch with the community. So I'll set up a date and we'll probably do like a watch party in the cave and I'll drag people in. You guys can watch it. Alien and The Thing are my top movies. I like Alien. The reason why I have it at B, I explained this already, Romeo, but I'll explain it for you real quick, is that it feels like it needs to be completed, which it is completed, because I love the Alien movies, but the first movie alone, it needs that second movie of Ripley continuing and pushing on. It feels incomplete at the first one. That's because it is incomplete because there's more. And there is, And I only watched the first one. We only went through the first one. And I don't want to rank it based off of what happens in the future. I want to rank it based off of what happens in this movie. So that's why I have it at B. But I'll think about it. I'm still going to put my mind to it because I don't like it in the same realm as Grave Encounters and Haunt. I really don't like it in the same spot. But OMG Community Watch Night. Yay. I think unironically Killer Sofa might be our first D. Depending on how Poultrygeist goes, that might be a second D. And then Leprechaun 3 most likely in C or D. So we might get our first D. My hopes is that S will be like either Hell House or As Above, So Below. But I'm really considering putting the Thing up here after everything that we've seen so far. The Thing is probably going to start moving its way up to here. Because so far, The Thing is the #1 movie that I've watched so far. Scream, I have actually, you know what's funny? I've only watched Scream one time. And I actually know Scream more for Scary Movie than I know Scream for Scream. And I can't lie, the first Scream is not a bad movie in the slightest. It is corny, but it's corny in a funny way. It's corny in a fun, good way. And I think it does what it does really well. And I really like Scream. It was fun. Because I hadn't watched the first one in years. And seeing it after, like, for the first time in years, it was really fun. So that's why I have it in A. I enjoyed it a lot. Leprechaun 3 is so awesome. That's my favorite movie. Hi, Astro John. Sorry. Hi, Sliggins. Alien not an S. You are gay. I gave a good explanation for why it's not an S. All right. You're thinking about it in the way that you're thinking about like all of the Alien movies. I'm thinking of it as like it's not completed and I didn't get to watch the others. So I'm not going to put it immediately up at the top. But for now, this is what we got. We actually have a lot. Terrible explanation. That is a good explanation. It feels incomplete. Like if you only watch the first one, I'm basing this off of only watching the first one. It feels incomplete. It feels like there needs to be more, which there is more in the future. But I'm basing this off of just the movie in itself. It feels like it needs more. Obviously, there is more, but I'm basing it off of just by itself. But I do like it. I might move it up here. I have to think about it. I might move it right next to these guys because it is a really good movie. By the way, Raven, I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw this, but in Violent Nature is not. I'm sorry, bro. This is just fucking. It's so hard to watch. It's so difficult. In fairness, Alien is hardly a horror movie. I'd say Alien is kind of a horror. It's just not. It's sci-fi, so it's not like... It's sci-fi, and I think it's ominous. I hate you, Marcus. This movie, I'm sorry, I just, like, it kind of blows. It is a walking simulator, dude. You are watching... I mean this legitimately, Chad. If you go into this movie, just know you're about to watch like pretty much 50, if not 60% of the movie is watching the killer walk through the forest. He is literally walking through the forest for like majority of the movie. It's like really rough. It's really rough. It's a tough watch is all I'll say. And then the film like goes from being from it goes from being from like the POV of the killer to at the end, it randomly switches to the main character of the main girl character POV. And you have no connection to her. Like you don't know her. You do not know her at all. You know the killer. That's all you know. You don't know the girl. So when she like escapes the situation and gets out of there, it's like, I just like, you go from watching him just run through the forest to watching her run through the forest. And that's the movie. Play Alien Isolation. It is my favorite horror game. And you can get to play as Ripley's daughter. Oh, I didn't know you play that. Scary Game Goal. I'll play I'll play it. Let me see how much it is. Let me see how much it is. I'll put a goal, but it's got to be Alien Isolation. $40. So let's see. How about we do how about we get to how about we get to 70? Well, if we get to 75, we'll do it. Because YouTube takes a chunk of what I make. And I want to make sure that it's... This will be the goal for now. We'll make this the goal for now. Not even sponsored by Ticketmaster. You just wouldn't get it, Marcus. The Walking Simulator movie is far above your comprehension. The game is like 10 hours plus, so it'll be a long-ass game. Oh, shit. Maybe, okay, maybe hit a goal of 100 then. Because that's a lot of... that takes up a lot of content. 10 hours is a lot. But for now, this is the ranking. I think the more I watch movies, the more I get through these movies, the more I'm going to be able to kind of comprehend where I want things to go. But for now, because I don't like how this looks. Like, I don't like Alien in the same space as Grave Encounters and Haunt. It's just not on the same level. Alien is better. Okay, I'll leave it here. Alien is better. Because I just don't like them in the same realm as these two. It's just, it doesn't belong in that spot. They're not in the remote close they're not remotely close in any way in terms of like what makes them good. Grave Encounters is good in the sense that it's not a good movie, but it's fun. You're having a fun time watching this like corny, it's really corny, it's really funny. And then Haunt, it's like first half of the movie, I could go without it. Second half of the movie, it's pretty fucking cool. But it gets pretty corny at times. Marcus, there's something I want your opinion since you're a massive Pokemon fan. Throw it at me. Lay it on me. Lay it on my belly. Lay it on my belly. 10 hours is barely... Here, let's see. Hi, Captain C.
Hey, baby Marcus.
Baby?
Okay, so I wanted to get your opinion on something now. Have you ever played a Digimon game at all?
No,
like, it doesn't matter.
I've never gotten a chance to play one.
Okay, good. Because this is something that I've been coming across on YouTube lately that I was kind of interested in. So you remember that new Digimon game I told you about that came out last week?
Yeah, I've heard some pretty good things about it. I've heard it's really good.
Well, I've seen a trend on YouTube where it's a lot of like mainly Pokemon fans or Pokemon gamers are jumping into the Digimon game and then comparing the two and then calling out Pokemon for being less innovative than the Digimon game we just got.
I don't think you should compare.
Well, see,
From
it's not a compare.
Because from what
hold on.
I've learned, last we talked about this, Digimon is not really in the same realm as Pokemon.
No, but I don't mean in terms of like the franchise elements. I mean in terms of the game mechanics, what you can do in the game versus what you can do in like a Pokemon game. Like for instance, there's a function in this new Digimon game where you can ride on the back of a lot of the Digimon you have, but you can't do anything. You can't like ride on, if you have a Charizard in your Pokemon party, you can't just hop on the back of that and fly off somewhere where you can do that in the Digimon game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was just kind of curious, like, I don't know, there's a lot of hyperbolic talk that Pokemon isn't doing as good or not doing as good. It's more like Pokemon is getting lazy, whereas Digimon is becoming innovative. And I wanted your opinion on like, and not in terms of like the franchise lore and that stuff, but the game and what you can do with said game kind of thing. Do you think that maybe Pokemon's gotten too, I don't know, comfortable with the fact they largely control the monster catching market kind of thing, so they don't want to innovate too much?
I think I will agree that I think Pokemon could do a lot more. I think they could do a lot more to make small changes, but I don't think small changes is what like ultimately, like, here's the thing. If the criticism is that Digimon has like these little things in it that makes it like better, that all
Quality
power
of, it's
to
like
you,
quality
you
of
can
life
like it.
improve. It's like
Yeah,
quality of
quality
life
of life.
improvements.
Then all power to you, enjoy the game. But just because I can't ride like my Charizard, I'm not gonna like piss my pants and say like this game sucks.
No, and see that's the thing. What do you think Pokemon should do to make it innovative again? Like I know they're doing a new battle system, but what can they do to like, make the Pokemon games fun again, sort of thing?
Probably it comes down to just making the worlds less empty. If the worlds are less
Yeah.
empty and they feel more full of life, then I think it doesn't matter if you could ride. It doesn't matter if you're riding fucking whatever the fuck, as long as you get to have more interaction with more just all in the entire world, like in the entire world that you're playing in, then I think people will have a lot more fun with the game.
So you think that the worlds and landscapes we see in Pokemon need to be more life in them?
Yeah, more life and more interaction. Like the one problem with Scarlet and Violet that I think really didn't fans didn't like is that outside of the city there is like it's pretty much desolate land with like nothing in them.
And that's the thing. Like, it's weird watching a bunch of people on YouTube compare like Pokemon games to Digimon games because there's a lot of like similar lines, but they're at the same time they're working with such vastly different, I guess, material that they do have the luxury of I don't know how to explain it, but like because it's like you're using different ingredients to make your sandwich and comparing it to a guy who used different ingredients to make his sandwich and seeing which sandwich is the better one, even though they're both made with different stuff. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like they're making the same sandwich, they're making two different sandwiches. That's what I mean. I agree. I will say this. I do agree that since Pokemon is like on the top of the market, they are a tad
They
bit
got they got lazy.
they're getting a little laid back, and they're just kind of
I
not really putting as much effort into the games as a lot of fans would like. I agree with that. Um
Do you think that the new battle system they're gonna have in ZA is gonna like alleviate a lot of people's complaints about it, or do you think it's just gonna be a too little,
no.
too late kind of thing?
No. It I've said this before and I'll say it a million times over. It doesn't matter what Pokemon does. People will complain about the games regardless of what they get. Back when Gen 5 came out, fans hated it. People thought it was terrible. Old fans thought it was a terrible game.
Really?
Fast forward to now, and now it's all of a sudden it's this great amazing game, and it's one of the best games of the series. X and Y is a good example. When X and Y came out, everybody shat their pants and said this game sucks. They hated Team Flare. They hated the story just wasn't really all that great. Pokemon designs were terrible. The starters were terrible. And now they introduced ZA, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, God, my favorite generation's getting a remake. No matter what game they pump out, fans will probably not like it. Like, they're just not going to like the game. It just
No,
doesn't.
okay, that makes sense. No, I was just curious because I looked up on YouTube for the last few days to see how Digimon was being received by like the larger crowd, and I just kept seeing all these people saying like, "I went from Pokemon to Digimon. I went like, is Digimon better than Pokemon now?" Like all this kind of stuff, and it just just got me curious about what like a Pokemon fan like you would think. I know you haven't played the game, so you can't really make a
Yeah, I
judgment,
can't
so to
really make
speak.
a
But I
judgment.
wanted,
I'm sure I've heard the game is good, and I can't imagine it's not a good game.
I don't know, it just seems hyperbolic to compare it to the Pokemon game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because they're similar but they're not. I don't know, it's just one of them weird things.
Like I do. It's like I said. I agree. Pokemon has its flaws. It's not a perfect game, but I think a lot of the hate is a little overdone. It is a little over the top. It's most of
Well, I
the
think
hate is rooted in most of the hate of the game is rooted in billion-dollar company making so much money. I don't like that. Or the game isn't like what it used to be, even though that's kind of the point. It's aging, it's growing up, it's becoming something new. Like, when you're nostalgic for an older game, and then it becomes something different, you're
See, isn't
obviously
that
going to
kind of
like
the
something
problem with
older.
Pokemon? Pokemon doesn't feel like it's done anything really new in a long time.
I think it's done a lot of things that are new.
Like what?
Well, we went from being a linear game to being an open world. We've added like gimmicks on almost every new generation. We've added features like getting rid of HMs and getting rid of like small little features that used to be in all the old games, features that people hated that now they wish is back. We've gotten rid of like they've gotten rid of like a good majority. Like if you play Scarlet and Violet and you compare that to like X and Y, they're only realistically 3 generations apart, and there are massive differences. They are like two very different games. So
that is fair.
So like, I think the problem is Pokemon is doing too much to try to make it this new, weird, different game. And I think
so what
that
would
might
you
be,
think they should do?
I think they should try to keep it somewhat simplistic. Stick with, like, for example, when they go into the next game, when they go into the next generation, try to keep it like Scarlet and Violet, but just upgrade some of the problems, right? Upgrade some of the problems, fix some of the, quality of life things. Just run its course. Because like Gen 1 and Gen 2, they're both similar games. It's not like they're much different.
True.
4 and 5 are very similar games. 6 and 7 are very similar games. I think they should keep Gen 10 very similar to Gen 9, but just upgrade the game and just make it a tad bit quality of life change, fix that, and I think people will be happy.
Do you think that new battle system is going to be the standard going forward for Pokemon?
What was it again?
Do you think the new battle system is going to be the standard going forward for Pokemon?
That's a tough question.
I think it might be.
If it plays out really well in Legends, I think so.
From the demonstrations I've seen of it, I think it's
It's
the coolest thing they've done.
The problem I have with it is that there's no PowerPoints anymore. It's time-based. That's what I don't know if it's going to stick well. If that doesn't stick well, then they'll stick to the PowerPoints. If the other one sticks well, they'll stick to that because it feels more. The problem is I don't want it to get too much like the anime because it's just not going to be good if it gets to if we're just making it into the anime, then it's not unique to just being a game anymore. It's just the anime.
Well, wouldn't that appeal to most people though if it was like the anime? Isn't that what people that buy the game are wanting or expecting?
Not entirely. I like that the anime has its separate factors to like what you can do in the game. It also does change how pro play would work completely, like entirely, given the fact that if it's a time-based attacking thing instead of being a PowerPoint system. Romeo, the game, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Scarlet and Violet works fine. The bugs do not break the game. It is functional with the bugs. The most the bugs do is like it'll extend your like arm length or something. It's not like it's gonna like
really enough. I never had any of those bugs people always talk about.
I know I get confused by the bugs because I've never had any of the extreme bugs. The most I had was like maybe a tad bit of lag. And I do think lag is like shitty for like it's a Pokemon game. It should run smooth. I agree that it should run smooth.
Yeah, it's not exactly a very powerful game to run.
Yeah. But I don't like when people were bitching about the bugs, I was kind of annoyed because I was like, dude, it's not killing your game, and it's also not the worst feature. Like there's other features that I would be more upset with than like bugs, I guess, is what I would say.
What do you think? So like obviously Pokemon ZA is going to sell well, but do you think it's going to be received well?
Oh yeah. I think so far I think it's got high expectations. I think it has really high expectations. And that could mean that it gets received very poorly because its expectations are through the roof right now because it's a Legends game and last Legends game went really well. And this Legends game hopefully should go well.
Yeah, don't most people consider Legends Arceus like the best Pokemon game of all time?
It's being received as one of the better ones in like recent memory. Yeah, and I will say I think Legends ZA is like Legends Arceus is pretty fucking good. Like it's a great game.
Nah, it really is. So I guess well, hopefully they don't screw up this one.
I don't think they can. The problem is maybe fans will be upset with the fact that you're just in Lumio City, but I feel like they
I've heard
made.
that's already going to be a big complaint from various people.
I don't have an issue with it because
Just
I
one
don't.
area for an entire game.
Nah, yeah, because the thing I don't care for is like if they're gonna make it the entire region, might as well just make a remake of Gen 6 instead of a Legends game. And I think if they expand Lumios to be bigger than what the game was, like if they make it this really big city, I'd assume there maybe is like an underground aspect to it where you can go underground of Lumios City. I've heard that there's different like there's going to be like new I've heard that it's just going to be a much bigger scaled, like a huge city. So as long as it's like fucking
Okay,
massive, then
if
I
they're going to
don't.
do it that way, I can buy the only one city for the entire
Yeah,
game if they do
like
like a bunch of sub regions inside of it.
yeah. If there's like if Lumio City has gotten to a point where it's gotten so big that there's literally like one end of the city is this massive area and there's a bunch of shit over here, and then one side of the city is this massive area and there's a bunch of shit to do over here, and then I don't have an issue. But if it isn't a massive city with a bunch of shit to do and you can circle the city in like fucking in like a couple minutes, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be like really angry.
What are you looking forward to most from the new Pokemon game?
What am I looking forward to most? Probably just the megas. I think bringing megas back is important to making the
No word of a
games.
lie, me too. All I really care about in that game is the Megas coming
Yeah,
back.
I think the megas coming back is what most people want. I like the gimmicks, but I'm tired of them adding a new one every generation. I wish they would stick to
I,
maybe like one.
I really do hope this means they're not going to introduce a new one every core gen game that comes out now and just like
Yeah, I hope they
use the ones
stick.
we enjoyed.
I hope they stick to just right now. I hope they stick to megas because megas is like that was a great design.
Meg
The Gimmas and
Megas and
megas.
Megas and Dynamax were my favorite.
Okay. I liked terrestrialization. I enjoyed that one. I don't really care for Z moves. I thought Z moves were kind of boring.
Z moves were hitting the miss.
Gigantamax was fine. I like Gigantamax. I liked it.
That was fun.
But I don't think Gigantamax should exist any further than just Sword and Shield. I don't mind it existing in, you know how like in the new games now they have like those little spots that you can battle like a big Pokemon and stuff. I don't mind it existing in that spot only, like for the rest of the games. Like it can exist in that spot and that spot only, but probably don't do the gimmick again. It's unnecessary. But Megas is a gimmick that I would say like, please keep going.
I feel like it should be their standard like power up form,
it
I
should
guess.
be the basic power up that Pokemon just keep getting new ones. New Pokemon should get some. Like they should just keep doing it because everybody fucking loves megas. Like not a single person has an issue with megas. It's the best one.
No, everyone. Yeah, without doubt.
It's the best one. They
And,
got
like,
to keep doing it. That's the reason why people are excited about this generation.
And every Pokemon should have a mega form, in theory, at least.
I guarantee you it'll be massive. They wouldn't come out with a small area in a new game. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine it's going to be tiny. I imagine it's going to be pretty big. Like I said, maybe there's like an underground, maybe there's like a sewer system area where it's like ghostly stuff or poison and all that stuff exist. Too. That could be something in it. But yeah, Megas is the part that I think everybody's looking forward to. I think I am excited to try out the new battling mechanic. That's something I'm excited for. But the other thing that I think I'm excited for is what are they going to do with the story?
See, that's where I feel like Pokemon's always dragged its heels. It never has done. It's not that they don't do good stories. Like it feels like the story's always an afterthought to get you to the next cool Pokemon.
I want. How do I put this? The stories, in my opinion, in recent games haven't been like the best.
Like, what was even the fucking plot to Scarlet and Violet? I barely remember it.
Scarlet and Violet's story was all right. I liked it, but it also was like, it's not good compared to like the rest. The story was essentially, there's multiple. Okay, how do I put this? There's multiple stories. So one of
Right.
the
Like I played the game.
stories.
I played the game. I know. I know.
Yeah.
I was being hyperbolic. I played it, so
Oh.
I understand. I was just being hyperbolic for the
Oh.
sake of entertainment.
Because I was gonna say I liked the story with Arvin and his dad or his mom, whichever game you chose, being like they're dead. They're like literally dead, and you only discover that until you go into Area Zero.
Yeah.
Like I liked that, but it felt like there should have been more. There wasn't a lot built on it. It was just kind of like,
See, and I guess that's where people are getting the biggest satisfaction out of the Digimon game is because the Digimon story game was written for its story first, and the Digimon were used to like
I I,
complement it.
I would agree, yeah, because Sword and Shield story is like, I'm sorry, Sword and Shield story is like a massive stinker. It's such a forgettable. It's such a forgettable story. It's so boring.
It really is. It was like he wanted to create infinite power or something with Eternatus or some
Yeah,
shit.
the president of the
Pokemon
the
League.
Pokemon League was like, "Oh, the energy! I love having the energy. I want more energy." And he brings in Eternatus, and you need the dogs because previous heroes own the dogs, and that's the story. And I'm like, dude, that was boring.
It felt like to me in that game they designed the legendaries first and then said, okay, now make a story that we can put them in.
Yeah, because the game that came before it, Sun and Moon story, is great. The fucking the whole idea that
Hmm.
Team Skull is like, oh, you think Team Skull is the bad guys. Turns out they're not the bad guys. They're just, a bunch of poor people who, grew up in, kind of the slums. They grew up in the slums in the shitty area, and they just kind of try to get by. Turns out Team Aether, Lily's mom is actually the bad guy who's overwhelmed with power. Turns out she's a terrible abusive mother who's like poorly taking care of her son and daughter.
But
And
and I think that's where I think honestly that's the biggest difference between the Digimon franchise and the Pokemon franchise is that the Pokemon franchise like dips its toe a lot with I don't want to say more mature themes, but more mature maybe storytelling, I guess.
mhm.
Whereas Digimon goes much more egregious, at least in recent years. It will get really friggin' like the last Digimon series that came out before this one called Ghost Game was a horror anime actually, and
Oh, okay.
it was actually pretty well done because some of the episodes were fucking scary. Like actually, like for a Digimon show, it was actually terrifying. Like there was one episode where some giant spider Digimon was eating people's heads, and you were like seeing her
Jesus
do it.
Christ. Yeah, I agree. Pokemon does dip their toes in it. Like they very much
See,
dip their toes
fucking
in
no,
it.
hold on, stop. That's what I was trying to get to. I just worked my way to it. The Digimon as the franchise seemed like it stayed. How do I say this? Digimon as the Pokemon as the franchise stayed with their primary target being that, young kid era, like, 10-year-olds, that kind of thing. Whereas the Digimon franchise, at least parts of it, allowed itself to grow with its audience it got in the 1990s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, because Pokemon, I will say they have mature topics. Like I said, Lusamine in Sun and Moon is an abusive mother. Like
Yeah, no, no,
she
no. I
starved
agree.
her
I
she
don't.
starved her children and stuff. But that's they
That's more
don't.
like the exception
Or
to the rule.
yeah, or like Scarlet and Violet, the mom or dad, whichever game you choose, is dead. Like it is described that they have died. Or
Right, but those are always more of the exception to the rule kind of thing.
yeah,
And
the
even if
exception to the
that
rule.
element is and even that element is happening, they don't like they'll maybe mention it like Brock's father being an absent father and like taking off and leaving his family behind. I mean, they poke light fun at it in the anime, but they don't really take a second to kind of dissect it just to figure out like, at the end of the day, his dad did bail on him and leave him to take care of the family by himself, which is why Brock is the way he is, but they don't really go into much more about it kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Well, that's exactly why I think X and Y, the original games, the story falls a tad bit flat because the story surrounds Team Flare and Lysander basically believing in like a perfect world. He wants the world to be like perfect. It's not beautiful. He doesn't like that. He thinks the world's not beautiful, so he wants to, you learn about the story of like the Pokemon War when a big, the massive beam was set off to basically eradicate like half the population of like fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
he tries to reactivate it because he wants like a perfect world again. And they don't do enough with it. They just don't do enough with it. It's like you said, they dip their toes in the idea of like, holy shit, this guy wants to fucking basically kill a bunch of people. They don't just outright say it. And like, that's the problem with X and Y is they don't outright just go like, this fucking guy wants to kill you. Like, this guy wants to fucking murder you. He wants you dead. Yeah, Veltal, the legendary, is capable of eradicating every living existing being as if he is like killed. The only reason why he can't is because Xerneas brings life to things. So if he does die, Xerneas just brings the life back. So that's the whole fucking point. They could have done something with that. They could have done something very big with that, but they just dipped their toes in it. They didn't really like dive into it.
And really, I think that's Pokemon's biggest disservice is that they don't treat the audience as if the audience has grown since the first anime came out. And I think that's Pokemon's biggest failing.
Yeah.
Is that they won't tell a mature story with its audience, or if they do tell a mature story, it's like so obscure, online only 5-minute anime
It's
that came
like
out
it's
like
like
10 years
PG
ago.
it's like PG-13 version of like of like the Avengers. It's like PG-13 version of like Infinity War.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
not saying that I'm not saying that I need to see like, blood and gore, like Pokemon being ripped apart and stuff. I'm just saying like address the mature topic that you're trying to bring up. Like, yes, you can say like, yeah, like I'm not kidding. Like half of the Pokemon were all killed. Like they are dead. Like dead, 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 dead.
Mhm.
I mean, there's an entire Pokemon cemetery in a building somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, the way they don't go about it in like a direct way is that they tell it through AZ because he was there, he was around. So they tell it by this like cutesy story of like AZ lost his Floetta. And I
Yeah.
like AZ and his Floetta. I like him a lot, but they subtly put in the idea that like, hey, there was a war between Pokemon where they were killing each other. But look at AZ, he really likes his Floetta. Like, don't you look? He's like really nice with his Floetta.
Do you realize the amount of like scary Pokemon that are like prime horror material that they never do anything with?
Oh no,
Like
yeah.
that amount. What's that balloon one that like carries children away? I
Oh,
remember reading a Pokedex.
Drifblim, or not Drifblim, but the Drifloon.
Yeah, he like carries
pre-evolution.
kids away,
Mhm.
like straight up child
Oh,
abduction.
Hypno sits in like forests and like hypnotizes like people and draws them into like a trap.
Yeah, I mean, see, Pokemon has like the grounding for fantastic storytelling and like really deep, mature storytelling. It just frustrates me that they never do it.
Mm-hmm.
They always stay with the light, happy, not like light, happy.
I agree. I want
for
dark.
kids.
I want something a little bit like maybe if they're gonna tell a spooky story in the game, or if they want to tell like a maybe a deeper story, they should go. They
And
should
if you're
go
going to do
deeper.
that, like commit to it. Commit to it. Say like, yes, we are going to do this, and we're not going to chicken out.
Well, I will say the anime does really good at that at times. There are times where the anime does a good job at like committing to it. Like that's why
when your anime goes on for 20 odd years, you're bound to at one point.
Yeah, like I actually think, your point was that Pokemon hasn't grown. I actually think Pokemon is trying harder to get more kid friendly as it goes along. It used to be kind of mature in some ways, like the anime as well. Like the first movie, the Pokemon movie, Ash fucking dies. Like Ash technically fucking dies.
Yes.
So it's like
we were all traumatized in the theater. Like I cried when that happened. I'm not gonna lie.
But as the games kind of go along, it starts to become a little bit more. It's weird. 3 is not as. 3 is like the game where there's really nothing morbid about the game. It's just evil teams. One evil team is like, I like more water, I like more land. Then all of a sudden you get to Gen 4 and, fucking Cyrus, he just hates people and he's depressed and he just wants to be alone. And if you if you play Platinum, he straight up goes to the fucking, essentially he goes to what is essentially like hell, or like a world in loop And he's just like, I like this world. I think I want to stay here. And it's like, dude, that's just like fucking sad. That's just like depressing. He doesn't
So
like.
what do you so like what direction do you want to see the next core Pokemon game take when it comes out? Like, is there like a wish list of stuff when the next core game releases?
There's a load of lists of things like I said, fucking add some more life to the game. Keep a gimmick around longer than just one game. Keep a gimmick around longer for just one game. It like put some more effort into some of the gimmicks, add some more aspects to maybe some of the current gimmicks, and then go just a tad bit deeper into this. Make the game a little bit more story orientated, because Scarlet and Violet felt less story orientated and more adventure orientated. It felt like it was more about, here, go into open world and just have an adventure, more than it felt like
You know what? I
play a
want to,
story.
but you know what, Marcus? I want to fight you back on that open world aspect from Scarlet and Violet, because it's open world, but at the same time, it's not. Because you still should do a proper, because you still kind of need to do a proper order for the
Oh no,
gyms and other stuff.
that is actually a good point. I was gonna that you bring up a very good point. Level cap the fucking gym leaders. If I want to go battle the fucking ice type gym leader first, put them at the first gym leader as the one I'm facing them as the first one. Have the levels in the Pokemon be like
See,
first evolutions.
I didn't look that up.
and-
I didn't look that up before I went to the first gym in that game, and I got steamrolled so fucking hard.
Oh my god, that happened with me. I went to Larry. I went to the normal type gym leader like for my fourth battle or third, and I was like, why the fuck is he so high leveled? And then I went to the grass gym leader like almost second to last or something, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, this is easy. And that's what that did piss me off, because the game prided itself like as if it was like
Open world, pick whatever order you want.
pick whatever order you want. And then
but not really, since we didn't level cap them.
Yeah.
So you can take whatever order you want if you want to lose a lot.
So like, for the love of God, Pokemon needs
So you still need to look up the
a level
actual
cap.
order that you're supposed to hit those things in, because if you don't, then you can't progress the game. Which, I don't know, like that really made me angry when I played the game the first time, and I learned that, because I thought I could just go and do whatever gym or area I wanted whenever I want. But then, like, oh no, you still need to be proper level. Like, so then it's not really whatever order I want. It's the order you set that I have to be the level in. Like, do you not get how you're telling me one thing but doing another?
Yeah, I really, I swear, if they don't add a level cap, I'm gonna lose my mind. That I might actually like finally switch sides and get like fucking pissed off, because there's no reason to make an open world where you can go to wherever you want with no fucking level cap. There needs to be a level cap.
But you know what? I'd be willing to bet you money that because of the complaints they got from that, because I know a lot of people were pissed about that, what we just talked about, because of that, they're going to abandon the open world concept in the next core game and just go back to linear.
Yeah, they either abandon it, go back to linear, which I like the linear style of the older games.
Like,
I'm okay with that. I have
giving
no issue
credit
with
where
it.
credit is due. Pokemon perfected the linear monster catching gameplay style. They perfected that shit. And frankly, I don't think they really needed to change it. There's nothing.
Yeah, I was on the train of saying I'm okay with an open world, but if they kept it linear for the entirety of the games, I could give two shits. I like the linear style. I've always loved it. I don't need them to expand.
They've done that for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
They don't need to really change it. It's sold for 20 years.
As long as it has great Pokemon, a good gimmick, and a good story, I'll enjoy it. And I'll
tell you what I fucking wish to high heaven we got in the next core game release. The complete national Pokedex.
Oh, adding every single Pokemon.
When was the last time we had a complete Pokedex, like a national Pokedex in a core game? It must have been X and Y.
I think Sun and Moon had the full. I think.
No, yeah, you're right. You are right. It's Sun and Moon. It's Sun and Moon.
And then once they got to Sword and Shield, they announced that there was not going to be every Pokemon in the game. So I was like, ooh. I get, okay. I will say I kind of get why, because there's like 1,000+ Pokemon in the games, and I get kind of why. Like, it's like, why would we need to?
It was for money, Marcus. Don't even try and justify it.
I know, but I get kind of why. But at the same time, it's like, brother, you are a big company. You can add them in the game. Like, it's not impossible. You can add them in the game.
I
I
can give you a
I would
perfect, I
I
can give
would
you the perfect
understand.
example of Pokemon Company being lazy fuckers. It took them until Scarlet and Violet to have Blastoise's Hydro Pump shoot out of his fucking cannons.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that they didn't even have that happen in the in the Sword and Shield.
He hasn't
Oh
done that in any game
yeah, in
up
any
until
game.
Scarlet and Violet.
I forgot about that.
Like he has two giant fucking cannons on his back and he hasn't shot out of them in 20 years.
That's actually another thing I'd like to see is better animations for some of the Pokemon to see them actually do. I think Legends is going to have cool animations. I think we're actually going to see some decent animations out of some of the moves this time around. Which is something that I really like, and I hope that it's like, for example, rollout. Like I remember watching the rollout. Your Pokemon, like unironically, like the accuracy of the move in the game kind of relates to the actual way it's battling. He straight up rolls to the character. Your Pokemon can dodge out of the way. It is possible, but you could also not dodge out of the way. Like in the games, rollout has a miss chance. It doesn't have 100% accuracy. I kind of like that. I like that it's kind of.
You know what? Pokemon could solve the question about their battle system very easily if they just made it an option to do either one. Like as soon as in like if you're walking and as soon as you get into the tall grass, there's like a momentary prompt. Say like battle, like turn-based battle or real-time battle. And then you just pick
Oh,
which you
that actually
want.
would be a fucking amazing idea. I would love that
So
idea.
then like especially if
Yeah.
like maybe for the pro circuit keep it as turn-based, but if you're like just fucking around in the game and wandering around and you suddenly run into a random Pokemon and then it just asks you, do you want turn-based battle or do you want real-time battle? And
Mm-hmm.
then go about it. Like that is something that
Especially
they could
that
do.
would be very beneficial for pro players because pro players are most likely going to want turn based. But shiny hunters, people who enjoy shiny hunting, 100% prefer it not going like running around in the grass because you know it takes fucking ridiculous amounts of time to constantly have to go through the animation of the grass
Oh, you know,
every
wait, now
single
I just thought of
time.
something. I just thought of something, Marcus. Wouldn't that be crazy if like the way a shiny you have to catch a shiny now is that you need to encounter it in some. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something about you have to fight the shiny in the new battle system to catch it, but you have to do that anyway. So that really didn't make any sense for me to say.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I like that idea of adding the aspect of picking. Another thing I'd like if Pokemon would finally do one day is I think to appease like the main fans and not to appease you know obviously it's a game made for kids, but to appease a broader
But
audience,
is it
put
though?
a fucking
I really.
difficulty level on the games.
Oh wait, so no, that's what I want. That's what I want to mention too. So yeah, I'll go. Let me run through a few things that the Digimon game I have does that people want Pokemon to do. They're really simple. One is that it's a turn-based battle like we're used to, but I can speed the battle up to like 5 times speed or slow it down to 1 time speed.
Oh,
I
okay.
can also I can set the battle to automatic as well, so the Digimon will just perform their signature attacks, and I don't have
You
to.
can technically do that in Pokemon games. Your Pokemon can battle on their own.
Right, but I can set it so that they all of them battle like as just a standard kind of thing. I can turn it off whenever I want to.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's also there was one other thing that a lot of people were really pressing on. Oh, difficulty. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
my Digimon game has several difficulties in it. So when you so in order to get to like the highest difficulty, you have to beat the game on like normal first and then it unlocks a super hard
Oh,
difficulty.
that would be a good idea. Beat the
And
game
that's the one thing I've
first.
never understood why Pokemon doesn't do a new game plus feature. Because every
New
Digimon
Game
game I've
Plus would
played
be a smart
does new game plus.
idea. That would be a really
I
good
don't
idea.
get why Pokemon doesn't do it.
I don't either. I think either adding a New Game Plus or just adding a preset to pick like difficulty to being like hard, normal, or easy, so that you know kid fans can obviously play it on the difficulty that's easier for them. And then if you're you know a fucking seasoned vet, you've been playing the game for fucking years, you put it to like hard, and let's say the game level caps the Pokemon a little higher. Let's say your Pokemon has a level cap before going to the next gym. Like next gym, you can't reach past like a certain level. You have to stick at this level specifically. That would be fucking awesome because these are things that people put in their games, their fucking Pokemon fan games. These are things we see in like Pokemon fan games. The fact that
Exactly.
I feel like it's not in regular games is crazy because obviously they can do it. If a fucking random guy sitting in his room programming a Pokemon fan game can do it, obviously the Pokemon company can do it. So I don't.
Another big thing that the Digimon game did that a lot of Pokemon players I've seen talk about is the regen system. So like we have like, your typical potions and PP potions and all that kind of shit in Digimon 2, same as Pokemon. But in this new game, they put in a system where if you just stand still for a few seconds, your Pokemon will automatically regenerate their health and status points by just standing around. So you don't have to go back to like a Pokemart or use potions or anything like
That
that. You just have to stay still for a few
that
seconds.
is technically in Pokemon. Like Scarlet and Violet, they had the picnic. You remember the picnic thing? You can technically,
Yeah, I remember.
instead of using like potions and stuff, if you go to a picnic, your Pokemon can like revive
You know
itself
what?
from
I'm
being
gonna
like fainted.
I'll rescind my comment because that does more or less
It's
do the same thing, just with an extra step.
it's the extra step of like, oh, you're doing like a little picnic, so you're technically resting with your Pokemon, and then you get their HP up, or they lose like a status effect or something. So I I think Pokemon kind of technically does already do that, but it is like you have to do like an extra step, and you do have to spend money on picnic shit, which I think is a tad bit weird, but I think it is a tad
That's the
bit
thing
weird.
with
But
with Digimon game. I just have to
yeah,
have to
you
have my
just have
character
to
stand
stand
still,
still
and
because
then they'll regen their health, and it
yeah,
says like it'll give me like a prompt saying like, "Oh, Digimon will be restored in 8 seconds or 9 seconds or whatever."
that's the thing. If it was different where it was like instead of having to buy like fucking sandwich stuff to make a sandwich for my picnic, and it was just like if I just sat in my picnic and hung out with my Pokemon for a little bit, and they got like rezzed or they got their HP up or something, I would prefer that over having to like make
Another thing I
shit.
wanted to ask you about too. So when you do like the picnics or whatever, and you interact with the Pokemon, does I know it restores their HP and whatnot, but does it affect like the Pokemon's, I don't know, performance? I guess I want to
It
say
affects their
like
friendship level, which friendship level does increase. They added a feature in the game that I think is kind of weird. They added this like in Sun and Moon. This has been a thing, but if you have a high friendship with your Pokemon, you could actually dodge like a move, or your Pokemon might live on 1 health, and it'll say something like your Pokemon is like
right,
it'll say
right,
something like the bond
held
that
on
you
for
have.
you or
Yeah, he
something.
held on for you or something. I kind of like that feature, but I wish it was better than what it was. It feels like
They
it's
need to do
just
more with
it
that.
feels like it's just a free get out of jail free card, and it's making it more of a
See,
baby game thing where it's like
see,
just
I don't
handing you
know.
free
How would
win.
you feel if for evolving Pokemon they went more into the bond with the trainer route rather than the
I
level route?
I think it should be level, but it should have a mixture of what's your friendship level mixed with the level route. So let's say you get to level 20 and it's supposed to evolve at level 20, but your friendship is extremely low, it's not going to evolve. You got to get the friendship up.
Okay, yeah, then I was pretty much thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, yeah. So like having that bond and that friendship I think makes the connection with you and your Pokemon, and it makes the experience a lot better because then you have a connection with these Pokemon, and you kind of form a bond with these guys, which that's what I've always loved about like Pokemon is like when I pick a certain team or I play with a certain team, by the end of it, like they kind of become my favorite Pokemon. So it's that aspect of like if they add more features into the game that make you find a way to build a bigger bond with the team that you've created, I feel like I'm gonna have like a stronger connection to the Pokemon I just played with. So I'll really,
Yeah,
really
see,
enjoy it.
since the Digimon don't have like canon stats a lot like Pokemon do, they used the bond system in this game too, but they did it so that the higher your bond, the higher the stats of your Pokemon are, and like, like higher accuracy, higher resilience, that kind of stuff. They went that route with the game here in terms of bond with the Digimon. So if you have like a high enough bond, your Digimon will be
I think that would be
hi-
really good for accuracy things as well for Pokemon. Like for example, if you have a low friendship with your Pokemon, it disobeys you. It doesn't want to like do certain moves, so it'll do
see,
something else.
that I think would be cool to have. It'd be like, Ash with Charizard, how he was Charizard's trainer, but Charizard didn't respect him for like months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
something
he
like
wouldn't
that.
listen. Charizard wouldn't listen to the moves Ash wanted him to do. He'd be like, "Do this," and he'd be like, "Mm-mm." And that happens with Ash in multiple Pokemon throughout the anime. Like, there's other Pokemon where he's like, "Do this move," and they're just like standing there, like, "I'm not gonna do that," and then they just disobey him. But for some reason, they never added that into the Pokemon games. The only way it exists is if it's a higher level than, because you know how like in the Pokemon games you beat a gym
Yeah,
leader and it'll say like,
if you have a Pokemon that's a higher level than like your badges amount, it won't listen to
yeah,
you
they won't
as
obey
often.
you. Yeah, which I'm okay with that, but I wish it was more
But
friendship based.
how often do you run into that issue though? Honestly, unless you're bringing in a Pokemon that you already had
Yeah,
that was
you're
high level from
AKA
like
you traded
Pokemon
with your
Home,
friend for a high level Pokemon, or you traded with yourself for a high level Pokemon. Like,
you're not going to really run into that issue. Like if I
yeah,
took my 99 level, my level 99, level 100 Charizard into the new Pokemon game, obviously he won't listen to me, but that's because I brought him in.
it's not even gonna matter anyways because he's level 99. He's gonna tear through everything. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wish there was more, like maybe like even the aspect of like instead of doing a different move, they just don't want to do a move. They just say like, I don't want to fucking do this, or they
Well,
go hell, they go back in the ball. They fucking they go
I
back
was
in the
just about to
ball.
say that they recall themselves and say, "Fuck it, I ain't doing this."
Or like for example, like maybe if you have like a strong bond with a Pokemon, you know how like Ash has such a strong bond with his Pokemon, Pikachu does not live in the ball. He stays outside of the ball forever. And maybe like let's say if whatever Pokemon is your like most bonded Pokemon, they stay out of the ball. They maybe sit on your shoulder if they're a small Pokemon, or they tail next to you, or they carry you or something. Kind of like what you were explaining with the Digimon stuff. That would be like a really cool idea. To add in, like if you have like a strong bond with a Pokemon, or in general if you just have a Pokemon, depending on what Pokemon it is, if it's like a tiny little fucking Dedenne or something, it'll sit on your shoulder, or if it's a big
Another
flying
thing I
type.
really, another thing I really wish they would do is more of the Pokemon to Pokemon interactions kind of thing. Like, how do I explain this? Like, if I'm walking around the wild zone and I have, say, a Garchomp with me or something, it'd be cool to see if other Pokemon, instead of always rushing at you, if they saw I was with Garchomp and got scared and ran away, kind of thing.
Uh-huh. It's kind of like how some Pokemon actually like fucking hate each other. Like Tinkaton
Yeah,
hates Corviknight. If a Tinkaton comes near a Corviknight, I expect that Corviknight to fly away. I expect that thing to like try to leave, and for my Tinkaton to like chase after it. Like,
yeah, no, I would love to see more stuff like that.
or maybe even like let's say it's a smaller Pokemon. Let's say you have like a Lillipup or like a Stoutland, and you approach another Lillipup or a Stoutland. They're friendly with each other. So maybe they, instead of battling, it's more of like an interaction. And then
That is
you have
something
to
that,
initiate a
see,
battle.
that's what I mean. That's what I really think they don't do enough of is just Pokemon interacting with each other. It's
Mm-hmm.
always a Pokemon that's off by itself doing something that you run into. It's never like a group of like say Charmanders all like huddling around or wandering somewhere or something like that. It's always a Pokemon off by itself doing something that you go and run into. It's never
Mm-hmm.
like a group of them of all the same species hang out, like running into like a, I don't know, what do you call it, like a group of Pikachus all chilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Or it's just I mean, I would use just another example, but it's the same thing. Like let's say you're in a ghost area or something, and obviously your Pokemon are like scared of ghost, so they kind of cower in fear, or maybe they go back in the ball. Like maybe they just transport back into the ball, and you have to be the one
You know
to
what?
initiate a
I
battle or
think
something.
I think that Pokemon would be benefit if they did more, if they, not stats exact, well, yeah, stats, but new stats for Pokemon, like maybe something like a bravery scale or something. Like you just mentioned, ghost Pokemon would like scare others. But what if your Pokemon was brave enough and wasn't scared kind of thing, versus one that would, as soon as you sent it out to fight, like say a Gengar, it got too scared and retreated.
That would be interesting. I don't know how it would be perceived. If they, are you saying kind of like having like a special attack, special defense? It's a new stat,
No,
or it's like a side stat, kind
yeah,
of like friendship.
kind of like the same, kind of treated as a side stat. I wouldn't make it a main stat, at least not right away, but I would introduce it into a game as as like a factor.
Okay, because it's like his friendship is like a stat that you have, but it's not part of the main stat line. It's just friendship is like a smaller aspect that incorporates itself
Right.
smallly into the game.
And that's
Something
kind
like
of what I
that
would
could.
see this one being.
I think that
they
would
just
be a good idea. Like a Pokemon's
like if I sent out Eevee to fight Haunter, Eevee would get scared and run back to its Pokeball. I have to send out a Pokemon that's braver to fight the Gengar or something. Or if your Pokemon is at an element disadvantage, like a Charizard being scared to fight Gyarados. Like in the movie, when that Gyarados evolved in the Detective Pikachu movie and Charizard like got all scared of it.
yeah. Yeah, that would be a really good idea if they added it's like you said, it's add more Pokemon interaction, and I think people would absolutely love it. I think
I
people
think
would
that's what
tear it
they're
up.
missing the most. They
Yeah.
like because a lot of the time the Pokemon don't really feel like animals, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They
you get what I mean?
yeah. It's kind of I mean, I understand Pokemon are not technically like animals, they're like, they're technically, they live amongst us type of thing, but I don't know. I think of Pokemon kind of like I think of my cat, right? Like they're kind of like they're
Well,
like a
they essentially they are. They're a type of pet, I would
yeah,
almost say.
yeah. So I want it to feel like when I play the game, I want it to feel like they're like my cat. Like I love my cat. They're like part of the family. They're like part of the. I want to be able to walk around with like my like Scarlet and Violet. I love Tinkaton. Tinkaton's starting to become one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I wish there was more things I could do with the Tinkaton to make it feel like they're, almost like part of
Yeah,
the
that's
family.
another.
Like that's like,
And you want what you do with them to like impact them too.
mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna spend all this time with them and like take them camping and picnicking and whatnot, you want that to impact their, I guess, performance is what I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, performance. Which it technically does, but it does it in a way where it's like I said, it's like
It's
babying.
mini.
It's this weird like here, have a free win because we let your Pokemon live on 1 health. Or here, have a free dodged move because you have such a great bond. It's like that's not what I want out of it. I want it to be like more than just like make the dodge feel meaningful. Make that friendship dodge feel like it's got some fucking passion in it. All right? Like that's what I want to see. I want to see some fucking passion in that dodge. That's what I want. Like that's what I
I
want to
agree.
see.
Like, don't get me wrong, I adore Pokemon. I really do. Even though I sing Digimon's praises a lot, I still adore Pokemon. I just feel like that. I don't know. It feels like that they know they can do a lot with it. They just do a little bit by bit every generation kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They just do bit by bit, and I get that
It's
they
like
do
doing the bare minimum to get a product out to your audience.
yeah.
Like, we'll do the minimum we have to do, and then we'll slap a label on it, put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah,
I've
you can do that, but ah,
I've said that I kind of get why they don't add everything all together right away, because like if you do, what are you going to do for the next game? But that's still an excuse. That's a dumb excuse. There's no reason to not adjust
like think
the
about it, Marcus.
factors.
Until like the era of DLC content came, we had the National Pokedex in every Pokemon game, and they
Mhm.
all ran fine.
No, yeah. I I just wish that they would, if they're going to take step by step, do it right. Make the quality of life changes correct. Make it how we want it. Right? The fans have said
I should send you one of
over and over and over again what they want. You know, at some point you got to listen. It's like you can't just
I should
ignore
send
it.
you one of these videos I watched where it was a Pokemon player talking about their Digimon experience because it's very interesting to see the different worlds collide like that.
Mhm.
But I think I've taken up,
I think here's what I think. That creates competitiveness, which puts
which is a
Pokemon on
good
their
thing.
toes because now they got to do something to actually make a good game. They're capable of making a good game. They have for years. They know how to make a good game. They're just getting lazy. They're not putting in all the effort. But if they have a competitor like Digimon who's pumping out bangers, hopefully that equals let's put in some effort. First it started with Pal Worlds, and I think that lit a fire under their ass where they were like, okay, maybe we shouldn't rush games out, and so they took their time. They broke that streak of, tradition of having a new Pokemon game out every specific, that specific amount of time every year. And instead they said, we're going to focus our attention on Legends ZA, which is what the fans wanted. They said, stop making fucking main game and side main game at the exact same time, and then also make a Legend ZA in the same year. 3 games came out in the same fucking year. ZA came out in January, and then BDSP, and then was it Scarlet and Violet? All came out in the same fucking time.
Here, Marcus.
much.
I'm going to ask you a favor, and I'm going to invoke my that Big's Babies privilege. I have a video here for you. It's only 17 minutes, but it's called Pokemon Legends ZA versus Digimon Time Stranger is Tearing Fans Apart. I want you to at least watch this a little bit, and I want you to give your thoughts on it, because I think it's a very interesting discussion.
Okay.
So I put it in video idea. It's only 17 minutes, and I just want to hear your take on it. But
The
can you share your
Digimon
screen
versus
so I can watch it with you?
No, yeah, I can do that. Give me a second. Is this the right screen? I think so.
Let me see. Watch stream.
versus
Yeah, I'm seeing
Pokemon
what you
War
see.
the Digimon versus Pokemon War has officially began, and bruh, I never thought this was gonna happen at all. We're in a very unique time where a lot of disgruntled Pokemon fans and people who are just aware of the lack of quality in Pokemon games recently are coming out and completely obliterating Legends Arceus before the game even came out, mind you, in favor of the brand new Digimon Story Time Stranger game. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not think, nor would I have thought this would ever be happening. You know, to me, Digimon obviously was like always like a guilty pleasure. It was very interesting liking Digimon coming up, and then even now it's like I like Digimon games, but I understand that people don't really like Digimon like that, so I kind of keep that enjoyment to myself. But seeing so many people be into Digimon and they're playing Digimon for the very first time and they're enjoying the game has really sparked up like this like rejuvenation and kind of like validating the kid in me that like used to like Digimon in secret, but now it's like, okay, cool, everybody's like Digimon now. I kind of feel cool, you know? I've also been seeing a bunch of people talk about canceling their pre-order for Legends ZA, not being as excited because of the trailers they've seen, which are all valid things to say. I think that like at this point in time,
It's Captain C's
people
YouTube channel.
who spend $500 on
Oh,
a
I actually know
console
who Sacred Almighty is. I
with
know
little
who
to
that
no
guy is.
games for a game that was made intentionally for this first Switch, and like having to pay $500 for the better version. I understand
That is I don't think that's a Pokemon problem. That's more so Nintendo. I think that's more like a fucking Nintendo greed
But it
problem.
becomes a Pokemon problem.
It does become a
you can only-
Pokemon problem, yeah. But it's like what you know, the way I see it is like, what am I supposed to like? What are they supposed to do when Nintendo's the one like pumping out this extremely expensive fucking console?
lower the fucking price.
Well, yeah, but Pokemon can't lower the price of the console. You know what I mean? Like they can't
Yeah,
lower
but
the.
I mean, like, Pokemon and Nintendo hold hands more than you and your wife. They talk to each other. Obviously.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. But
why people
I think
are
the problem
canceling their
starts
pre-orders,
at
I do.
Nintendo more.
But this moment really is unprecedented, but I just want to just make it known that like it's okay to like both. I want that to be like known. Pokemon is a franchise that has been around for about the same time.
I agree with what he just said. I hate that people make it about a battle of which one's better. And then they say
Me
like,
too.
well,
I
this
hate that
one's
too. You can enjoy both.
yeah, when they'll be like Digimon's better. So this means this one's fucking god awful. I hate it. Like, I'm sure, and if I ever play the Digimon time game, I'll probably love it. And if I play the Legends ZA game, I'll probably love it. I'll probably like both of them. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and
Nothing says you can't enjoy both.
yeah, nothing says you can't like both of them. So.
Time as Digimon, and I think that Pokemon Legends ZA is one of those testing ground, almost beta like games for the next experience that is going to be Pokemon Generation 10. And I think that a lot of people are looking at this game like, oh, do I really want to spend $70 and then an extra $30, and for some maybe $500 for a test console?
Damn,
or a
Lucario's
test
that
game,
short?
You know what I'm saying? When I can go out of my
No, I
range
think
and
AZ
play
is
a
just really
brand new
tall.
No, AZ's tall, but like your character's standing right here. I didn't know Lucario was that short.
Yeah, Lucario is only about 4 feet tall.
Oh, what the fuck? If they're similar gameplay, I don't see why you wouldn't like both. Well, that's why I have an issue with some people when they come and hate on a game is they make it about a battle of which one's the better game. It's kind of like I remember when people used to battle about like fucking it like the console wars. Like fucking arguing over like which console's better. PS
Oh, yeah, we just did that a month ago.
Yeah, with the whole is the PlayStation better than the Xbox? It's like back then, man, they were both good. Like if you liked one, then you liked one. If you liked the other, you liked the other. If you had both, you had both. I thought they were both good consoles. It's not like one was like
If you had both, you were rich as shit.
well, true, but it's not like if you had like one, that means the other one is immense shit. It's like they're both good consoles. You don't have to like make it a battle.
I think it's the case of people trying to justify why they have the opinion they do about something.
Yeah. Which if Digimon is a better game than this, that's fine. I have no issue. But I'm probably still gonna like it.
But I mean, like, but even then, like, by what measurement do you even make that? That's one thing I really have a hard time doing.
I wouldn't even know how to measure it. I would, because
No, like,
if they're different games, they're different games. I just don't. I wouldn't know how to measure it because
that's what I mean. It's hard to say which one is the better one because like they're not really doing the same thing. It's more a case of what is the game doing and how well does it do it.
yeah. Good night, Mira. Have a good night. Oh damn, he's 3'11". Yeah, I didn't realize Lucario was that short. That's
No,
fucking
he's a tiny little
awesome.
guy.
That's awesome. I did love that he's he's a short king, dude. He's a short king. I think this game, in my opinion, I think ZA is gonna do a good job. I think it's gonna do a good job. I like the way it looks so far. I know a lot of people hate the design of the graphics, but listen, it's always been chibi style. That's always been how it's been. Every time I go into a Pokemon game, I always say, do not expect their game to be this like hyper realistic, super like crazy, smooth everything.
I don't really think any Pokemon fan has gone into a game expecting, top of the line graphics. And if you have, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't ever expect that. I expect this chibi cartoonish style. That's always what I expect out of Pokemon. I really think this game's going to do a good job in the sense that I think the story is going to be a pretty fun story. I think the way they're going about the battling is going to be really fun. It's going to be new. It's going to be something fresh. And I think and it's kind of like what Sacred said here. It's kind of them dipping their toes in the new generation. What is the new generation going to look like? I think that's what
I'm really curious what they're going to do with Gen 10.
I'm very curious because I think he's right. I think the Gen 10 game is going to try to dip its toe into being similar to the Legends games. I think they like the formula they did with the Legends games. And I think they're going to...
It's not just defeat these 8 gyms in the Elite Four kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to implement the battling style, but into a regular mainstream game with gyms and with like... I think they're going to try to implement it in that way, which I think if this game does very well, they should do it. They should full send it, go for it, and just see how it works. But obviously, please add more change of life things, obviously.
Game that I may or may not like.
Hi, Tyrone.
The same thing that I liked about Pokemon, just in a old IP that I used to watch or I used to be into as a kid, but obviously grew out because Pokemon just kind of Big Brother did, Let me also just say Digimon Time Stranger had a lot more time for development. Digimon Time Stranger, we're looking at about maybe like 7 to 8 years worth of development, whereas Pokemon Legends ZA, I'm pretty sure received about like maybe 3 or 4 years.
Actually, you know what? Pause it right there for a second. That's one thing that Digimon annoyingly has always done. They take a long time before
but that's better. I can't lie, that's better. I like that more. I love Pokemon to death, man, but fuck me. I wish they would take their time.
A game a year is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
What was it? It's a core game, core generation game every 2 or 3 years.
Every 2, I think 2 or 3. It's around that range.
The last Digimon story game that came out before this one was 2017.
Yeah.
Let
me enjoy it. That's what I want. Like, if you're going to come out with because we're getting to that point where generations are coming out like they're coming out way too fast.
Call of Duty. It's going to be like Call of Duty where there's a new game every year.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't want that. I want the generations to start getting slow.
That'll probably kill the franchise if they did that, frankly.
I don't want too many generations too fast because 10 is a lot of generations. And once we get past 10, is it like, what's going to happen? Just take your time. You're going to have to
do something fresh.
Take your time. I want them to I don't give a shit if I'm stuck with Legends ZA for the next 5 fucking years until, and let's say the next game isn't even Gen 10. Let's say next game is Black and White remakes or Gen 7 remakes or a different generation remakes, but the game is fully fleshed out with a whole new design. It looks amazing. It looks great. I don't care if it's something like that.
And see,
I just
that's
want
exactly a good point. That's a fantastic point, Marcus, because the last Digimon Story game that came out, like this series of games, is called Digimon Story. The last one that came out was called Hacker's Memory, and it came out in 2017.
Mhm.
And then this is the new game that I'm playing now that just came out. Just like it entered development as soon as they finished and released the last games. They spent 8 years developing and releasing this game.
yeah. I think that's
So I
really
mean, like,
smart. I think that's really
yeah, that's
smart.
what I think. Maybe Pokemon should just slow down a little bit with their rate of like game development. Maybe that's what they should do.
I mean,
Do more
realistically, right?
quality quantity.
I know they're greedy. I know they make a lot of money, but listen, you already make a lot of money from the anime. You make a lot of money from plushies, from merch. They make more money from the fucking anime and merch probably than they do, I want to say, the game.
I'm pretty sure the amount of money Pokemon makes is more than some countries' GDP.
Yeah, they're the highest grossing fucking. It's like, dude, at that point, right? Take your time. You ain't losing
Like,
money. You're not
you're not
losing money anytime soon, man.
like honestly, that's what see, and I think that's why this game is like my Digimon game is such a good example to Pokemon because this story game that I'm playing, we didn't have news about it until February of this year. We were told a new game's in development in 2017, and then weren't told anything else until February of this year about it.
I like that Pokemon gives us those like small little updates of new. They give us those.
Oh,
little
don't get me wrong.
hints and-
I wish they would give us the updates because I didn't even know the game was still in
Yeah,
development
yeah.
at one point. I thought it was
I think
canceled.
Pokemon does that really well, where they always do their what is it called, Pokemon news or whatever the fuck it's called, and they do it and they give us those subtle little hints. And I like that because it brings the community get together to kind of speculate and to kind of be like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, is this what's happening? It's like when this game got announced. It's like for the longest time, people thought it was going to be Gen 5 remakes, and people were speculating what's going to be the next thing, what's going to be the next game. And then when they announced this one, they did it subtly, and then everybody was like, okay, now we got to pick what's the starters going to be. Now we're going to like all cast our votes on what the starters are going to be. I like that because it keeps people engaged to the point where like, you know, we're not just like
Yeah, the Digimon franchise doesn't do that very well with their games where they
you
give
got to
like little
keep your
hints.
community a little engaged.
They go radio silent for years at a time, but without telling us anything.
Which that's something Digimon could probably do is be a little bit more like, hey, here's a little hint. We've been working on this for a little while here. Sneak in a little
Yeah,
hint.
because I
Here.
guarantee you now, I'm not going to hear anything. There's probably a brand new Digimon game already in development at the studio, but we won't hear anything about it for probably the next 6 years.
Oh yeah. Probably not. But I will say Pokemon does that one right, but the thing that Digimon does right is they take their time. I
They
think
always
that's
work
what
on the next
they
game while
do.
they're working on the other game that we get. So like obviously we get Scarlet and
How
Violet.
long am I streaming for? I'm probably gonna go for like maybe another 2 hours. Probably another 2.
Legends
We'll
ZA is
finish
probably
this and I'll get out of your hair and
somewhere
let you get
like
on
a
with the
year after that.
content.
We get
Yeah,
the
of course.
DLC for Scarlet and Violet. They're still working on ZA. ZA gets announced, then ZA gets delayed for an entire year afterwards. And here we are now with a brand new version and a brand new, like, I guess, copy of the game. And I think that, like, you know, a lot of people are tired of giving Game Freak grace when they're spending so much money that they damn near don't have. I hate to say it, the unfortunate truth is we're in a very, very bad spot in America right now. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people are tired of spending $70 on a game that they know for sure they're not gonna like. And I think the Pokemon brand
That is true. We in the state we're in, economically, not a lot of us can afford this. Like literally, not a lot of us can afford this. Like
Bad but true.
most people are probably not wanting to
Well,
shell
you know
out
what?
$500 for the console and then get the Switch 2 game, and then no one's going to spend $60 on the.
ZA isn't going to be on the regular Switch, is it? It's just going to be.
It's going to
Switch
be on
2
the
game?
regular Switch. It's going to be on the regular Switch, but
Okay, good,
it's going to
good.
be the graphics are like immensely different, like to a point where it's like, do you really want to spend $60 on a game that is going to look it's not going to look as good as the other version. So it's kind of this, Nintendo's doing this thing where almost every game has got that second, the game is made for both consoles, but this second, the one for the Switch 2 looks a lot better. So you should probably just get the fucking second one. You know, you should probably just get the
purposely
second
making the
console.
Switch copy a little shittier so they buy the Switch 2.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people can't afford it. Like a lot of people are not going to be able to afford it. So I wouldn't be surprised if ZA is one of
You
their
think that'll
lowest
impact
selling
ZA
games.
sales?
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of people who won't buy it because they just can't afford it.
I wonder if the game's gonna sell badly, actually.
I bought a Switch 2 and haven't opened it yet. Marv is going to hate me. I'm frying buffalo wings again. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck. I already did. Oh, I know you did, Cody. I can't afford a Switch 2. I'm poor. Well, then why'd you get it?
Branding is so big and so like manipulative that people are willing to go ahead and buy these things because of their childhood and then even FOMO, right? Like who knows? Maybe you might play the game and you might like it. You know, maybe you never know. But maybe you see what you see and you're like, I'm good off that. Now, granted, you shouldn't 100% go off trailers and you shouldn't 100% go off what you hear and what you see from other people. You should always think for yourself. You should always have a mind for yourself. I think that if you've seen the overview trailer, all the trailers that have come out between now and like back when it was announced, and it just does not do
I'll
it
play it
for
with the
you,
shitty graphics. I don't care.
That is okay. And I don't think that makes you less of a fan. If anything, I think that makes you more of a fan because you're willing to acknowledge when either something is not for you from said franchise that you adore, or when this said franchise is not moving in a direction that once made you like fall in love with it. I think that we have to be honest with ourselves and acknowledge that Pokemon games have not been the same since they went 3D. They've not been the same in terms of quality and writing. When every other console or every other game that like kind of like sits in the same console space is just running and doing better. I know people hate to mention like Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade, any Mario game, but the truth of the matter is these games are real and they are and do run and look better than Pokemon. Pokemon just sells better. It was never about the sales. Pokemon's always going to be like a big, humongous juggernaut of a series. It's always going to sell well, but that's the problem. The problem is people are spending their hard-earned money on mid, actually, if not mid, just straight up trash, and that doesn't make
I think the graphic argument is silly because like I think I brought this up earlier. I've said this before. Pokemon's never been
But it's different when it's intentional.
You think
It's different when it's
intentional? You think they're
intentional.
doing it intentionally? Like they're just
Okay,
intentionally
Marcus, be real with me. With knowing what a Pokemon game's aesthetic looks like, you can't convince me that they couldn't optimize it just as much for the Switch as the Switch 2 and still kept it looking the same. Like, it's a Pokemon game. You're not like running
That is true.
goddamn
That is
Last
true.
of Us.
That is true.
You're not
That
running
is
The
true.
Last of Us.
Yeah, that
Essentially-
is true. They
essentially-
need to be. The point
You're
is they need to
you're
just
a moving cartoon. You're a moving cartoon. You're not exactly going to be rendered in high spitting detail for it.
Okay, I get that point. Yeah.
them less of a fan for acknowledging the fact that they are spending their money
I spent all my money on a
trash.
year's supply of yams. I bought one for Hades 2, but then Borderlands 4 came out, so I've been stuck on Xbox. That
or
makes
mid,
sense. Do you
or
like
they don't
Borderlands
wanna
4?
play
Is
the
it fun?
newest trash
You
or
enjoying it
mid
so
that
far?
They probably will not like.
Didn't you get
It doesn't
Borderlands
make them
4?
less of a fan. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I
at
have
all.
not
It
played
makes
it.
them more of a fan, in my opinion, because if you've been devoted for this long to this damn franchise and you see something that you don't like and you're willing to put your wallet behind where your mouth is, that's fine. That's actually really good, and it's a lot of it shows a humongous amount of like self-respect. I think a lot of people don't really like have at this point in time. But even then, it's like, okay, cool. I also don't like that people can't seem to what's the word, enjoy Digimon without bashing Pokemon. But those comparisons were always going to happen anyway.
Yeah, that's another
because for
big
the
point.
longest time, the
Yeah, I mean, it's brought
Like you
us
brought it
back
up
to
earlier.
what we brought up earlier. You can like both games. I don't know why people have to play Digimon just so they can bash
Well,
Pokemon.
it's like back when you were in elementary school and it was the great playground war of like Digimon versus Pokemon, which is better. I mean, I don't know if your school had that, but in my school, that was like a legitimate huge discussion
never
point for
did.
like a full year. No, like my entire class was split between Pokemon and Digimon, and we would like have friggin' stupid little kid
we never
debates about
had
it
that.
during recess.
We never had that.
Oh no, it was huge in my school. Like half my grade 5 class absolutely loved Pokemon, and half the other class absolutely loved Digimon. So we would always go back and forth in the playground saying like, "Oh yeah, well Digimon's cooler because we have Agumon. Yeah, we have Pikachu and he can use Thunderbolt. Oh yeah, well I have a dog that shoots fire. Oh yeah, I have a dragon. Oh yeah, I have a dragon with armor." It was basically like that for like all of grade 5.
I just 100 hours on BL4 already, so yeah, I like it. I'm a diehard BL fan though. I've heard some pretty bad things about, not bad things about 3. I've heard 3 is a good game, but I've just heard like some people are just getting kind of fed up with them, so I have no clue if they're good or if they're not. I have
The only
stupid
thing
amounts of
closer to
hours into the
Pokemon
BL
was always
games.
Digimon in terms of just branding and where we were at the time since those games came out, and it just makes a whole bunch of sense to compare these things. And especially when a game that doesn't have a lot of budget or a game that doesn't have the biggest of following or whatever comes out and it's just better. There are a lot of monster taming games that have come out in the last 5 years, 6 years, 10 years damn near, there are better than Pokemon games. That's just the truth. Have they sold better? No. But it's so interesting that we love to throw the sales around when just, a while ago, sales don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And it's so interesting to hear that argument be completely destroyed or completely used here when we're talking about quality of the game that you're buying. You're about to buy a game on the Switch.
I just realized that getting the to get like the Mega Evolution thing, you have to battle the Mega Pokemon to get
just
their,
like Scarlet and Violet. It may not be as
Their
Well, you need to
stone.
battle
It
the
runs
Mega
just like it,
Pokemon to
and
get
then you
their
have to pay
Mega
an extra
Stone. That's
$500
interesting. So it's not just one Mega Stone for all of them.
Pirate version of the same console, mind you, and then it's just upscaled to what the game system should have been. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just very kind of. It's just kind of weird. And I think that we have to be honest about where we are as a fandom, but then also as a fan of Pokemon. I think a lot of people are in their really early stages of adulthood. A lot of people are really old Pokemon fans, and they don't want to admit it, but they fell out of love with Pokemon. And they feel like because Pokemon has always been with them for their entire lives,
I actually have a counterpoint to that. I think that's pretty normal. I think that's pretty normal.
I would agree
to
with
fall
you. I think
out of love with your game, because it's like I said, these games are technically made for kids, and over time,
Debatably.
it's just not gonna be. Over time, it's just not gonna be for everybody. Over time, you're going to find more nostalgia from the ones you started with over the new ones. And that's natural. I feel like that's extremely natural. For the most part.
If the Pokemon company was smart, they would do a complete ground up remaster and re-release of Pokemon Stadium. That shit would sell like
Oh
fucking
my
water.
God. That would be so fucking good if they did that. Hi, Ben.
I can't believe they haven't. They put the original Pokemon Stadium on the Nintendo Wii store. It's like, you fuckers know we want a remaster of it. Just do it.
Yep, this is a thing. People become disillusioned with the things they loved as a kid, but want to hold on to that feeling and won't accept it. Yeah, I mean, that's just that's just how it is. People grow
honestly,
up.
that's just part of that is just part of growing up. You're not going to love everything you loved as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I'll admit that I don't play Pokemon as much as I did as a kid. I played the shit out of Pokemon games for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours as a kid. I don't do it as much anymore. I don't even play games as much as I used to do. I've not that I've fallen out of loving games, but I find other things I like to do sometimes. I
think Sacred Almighty is talking about people who just don't want to let go of Pokemon because it's so ingrained in their childhood kind of thing. They don't want that connection to be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about Pokemon Coliseum? We should get remakes of those, by the way. I said before, I think we should get more remakes of side games as well. I remember when we made the newer version of the dungeon games, but I was like, that's cool and all, but what about what about Coliseum, or what about our Snap kind of got one, but what about Ranger, or what about what the fuck is it called? I forgot. Conquest. What about all these other ones that were pretty popular side games that people enjoyed? Throw a few in new higher quality ones out there.
I really want to remake a Pokemon Stadium. I want one so badly.
Yeah, that would be a really good one. I mean, that would.
I can't tell you the amount of hours me and my friends spent on the N64 back in middle school playing Pokemon Stadium until the sun came up. Dear God, those were good times.
Those would be some amazing games if they if they remade them. I think that would be a
Oh,
really good
bro, if
idea.
they put out a remake of Pokemon Stadium, I would unironically spend a ridiculous amount of money to get it.
They
I have no
should.
shame
They
in telling
should.
you that.
They really should. Just instead of making a Gen 10, they should take their time and remake a few like classics that people fucking love.
I
And
wonder if they're going to avoid Gen 10 for a couple of years
I think
still.
they should. People keep thinking Gen 10's gonna get announced. I think they should just fucking say fuck it. We're not gonna do Gen 10 just yet. Hold off, man. Like hold off and make a few other games first before we do that. I think that'd be a really good idea. I think that'd be super
I agree.
smart. But I'd imagine they're probably not. They're probably gonna go with 10.
Yeah, they
They
probably
have
have Gen
to-
10 already set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Support these things. They have to do these things. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do anything. You don't. It's okay. You can skip out on a game and watch somebody else play it, or wait for the reviews, or you do something. You don't have to buy it right then and there. Some of y'all are like, have families and stuff, and like it's like you don't have to always be
Cody.
involved in these things that made you happy as a kid. It's okay to grow out of things. I know when I was young, I definitely grew out of Pokemon for a minute. I was a too cool. Pokemon was whatever to me, yada yada. And then I got on the internet, and then I played a game online, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, hey, I'm playing games for a living. It's kind of, it is what it is. That's just how life worked. But it's okay to not be involved in things no more. And I think for a while, a lot of people have been falling out of love with Pokemon, because why are you complaining about the same thing for the last 10 years? If you're still going to indulge in it, it makes no sense. We can all have our hopes and our dreams, but I think that, until you see some change, where does your loyalty lie? I think when it comes to Pokemon, as somebody who does and has not liked Pokemon games for a minute, we have to be honest here. I did not like, at first I did not like what was happening when BDSP and Legends Arceus came out. I did not like BDSP, but then I got Legends Arceus and I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like Legends Arceus. A lot of people loved that Legends Arceus. It just is what it was. But for the entire time, and it's very documented on this channel, I was shitting on Legends Arceus. I did not like Legends Arceus whatsoever. And then when I finally got the game and played it for myself, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Now, obviously, why I enjoyed the game could be, there could be multiple reasons to why I enjoyed the game, but the base generalization of it all is I enjoyed the game, right? And I think that I can, and I could have admitted to you that I don't like a lot of these games. I've told you that. That's why I play these fan games and ROM hacks over here on this channel, because I thoroughly enjoy those way more than any offering Pokemon has to offer. That's why, like, whenever I do cover a new game, I always do like the clickbait horror stuff. I see if I like it, I do like a little review on it.
I think a big reason why people like the games that other people make is because low-key it's because it's free. I think it's that caveat of a game being free. It makes people like it a little bit more than...
I'd say that's a piece of it.
Like having that extra piece, knowing that I didn't have to spend $60 for this, I think throws in that idea that someone is like, I think I like it more. Just because they did it
and I agree
without
with you.
having to pull money out of their paychecks. But that's not saying like it's bad. That's not saying like that's the only reason. I do think like some of these fan-made games and ROM hacks and stuff are super duper fun, and they have super cool gimmicks to it that like kind of add an X aspect. Some of them are games that are never going to happen in the Pokemon world, like Radical Red, right? Like that's like a game that people love because it's super fucking hard. The whole point of it is it's like challenging you to your like fucking to the hardest. Like it's making you work really hard.
I feel like that's an issue Pokemon has too, is that they don't, how do I say it? I don't know. Does it ever feel like sometimes Pokemon games just are, I don't know, I don't want to say they're too easy, but there's little challenge to them if you play them as intended? Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Like, well, like if I played through like Sword and Shield and I just hit the gyms and like, hit the gyms and do the story and all that kind of stuff, realistically the game, I don't know, do you think that the game is very challenging in terms of like progressing through the story and doing like the main story quests and the gym trainers?
I mean, the games aren't that challenging. And I don't know, here's the thing. I don't know if it's just because I just know how to play the game. Like I've played it for so long that I just, I understand the game. I understand how to beat it. So I'm not having a hard time. I know how to combat
that could
things.
be that.
But it's not really that challenging, and I don't care if the game isn't challenging so long as the story's great. But the problem is, at the end of the day, like for example, Scarlet and Violet, it's an easy game. Like if you're somebody who knows the game really well, it's super easy. And after a certain point after getting through the game, it's kind of just like, man, this wasn't really that challenging. I didn't really feel like I got challenged. Like when I played through Gen 4 and Cynthia, Final Battle with Cynthia, that shit is devastatingly hard. Like it is, my first time playing through it, and first time I ever actually beat the game, because me as a kid, I used to play the game and then restart and then play and then restart before even getting to the Elite Four. I beat it when I was an adult, and I barely won off of a crit Ice Beam from my last Pokemon on her Garchomp. I was struggling tremendously against Cynthia. And I feel like the new champion that we just played against recently in Scarlet and Violet, she was not that hard. I mean, I think you could beat her without losing a single Pokemon.
Was she the Eevee girl? Is that who you're talking about?
No, she's the one that has her like ace Pokemon is not even like a pseudo legendary. It's not even a pseudo legendary. It's that rock poison type like Glimmet
Oh
thing.
yeah. That fucking thing.
I just like my issue is, like I said, I wish a difficulty meter was in the game, because if there was a difficulty meter in the game or something to change that made it harder, I think Jita, I think there would be a lot more fun knowing like, fuck, this is hard, or like I just lost this battle and I'm going to try to push myself to kind of beat this person. That's why I like Scarlet and Violet, in the sense that since I knew that it was like pick your own place to go, and once I realized that the levels were higher, I forced myself to try to beat like higher level guys, higher level gym leaders. But at the end of the day, when I got to the other places, it was super easy for me. But
yeah, then you can steamroll like the lower gyms with one Pokemon.
Yeah. But when I was able to challenge myself, that's where I found myself having a lot of fun, is when I pushed myself and challenged myself to try to beat some of these higher level Pokemon. And I was having a hard time doing it, and I was losing a lot. It's hard to enjoy a game when you can just walk through it with no challenge whatsoever, unless it's purely story. If the game is a pure story game, then I understand where you walk right through it, and you're not supposed to challenge yourself. It's not supposed to be hard because it's story based.
Right.
And Pokemon has good stories, but its story is not everything. The whole premise of Pokemon is the battling and all these other things. So I want it to be hard. I want it to be challenging.
Like the story is just an excuse to get you from spot to spot to do a battle.
Yeah. I mean, Legend ZA was hard. I think some of Legend ZA was really hard, and I think that's what made.
You mean Arceus?
Or sorry, not ZA, Arceus. My bad.
Arceus was actually a fairly difficult Pokemon game.
Yeah, there were moments in that game where I was like, okay, this is actually kind of challenging, and that's what I like about the game, is like it actually makes you kind of have to adapt to the new location you're going to. Like there's times.
That's what I mean. Even if you had a Pokemon game where after you finish the game, then if you could unlock like a new game plus feature or an ability to play like at a higher difficulty where like enemy Pokemon had their stats bumped or something, that would be a cool feature to add into the Pokemon games going forward.
That would change it drastically, because people would have fun knowing that the game is hard and that you need to actually push yourself to
or lock shinies behind having to get into new game plus. Like you can't even get a shiny until you beat the game once.
Yeah, until you beat the game. Like if they just did something like that, it would change the game. Just something as small as that would change the game drastically, because adding a challenge feature where people actually have to push themselves through the game is extremely fun. Like, it is frustrating. Oh, yeah. It is very frustrating. Like facing, for example, some of the, like Gen 5, Black and White 2, the Elite Four in that game. Actually, I had an easy time with that one, but first Black and White game, I was struggling. I know it was a Nuzlocke, so I couldn't heal, but still I was struggling. But like, I know it's frustrating. It was frustrating as fuck, and losing Pokemon is frustrating, and not winning the battle is frustrating. But it feels way more satisfying when you get to the end of the game, and you know that you were just
But the
like,
issue with
"Fuck yeah,
that
I
is
just beat
that
it."
but the issue with that is that's self-inflicted. It was only difficult because you made it difficult.
Yeah. Well, nowadays you can see. I get why they don't do it because some Pokemon are weak Pokemon, and some people want to be able to play with their favorite Pokemon. And if that favorite Pokemon's a really low base power, bad shit Pokemon with bad moves,
Which I mean, yeah, that's fine, but that's why you introduce a difficulty system
yeah,
so
that's
that
why you introduce a
if
difficulty
you want to
system.
go balls to the wall and say like I want to fight like the strong of the strong kind of thing, where then buddy next to you like, oh, I just want to walk around with my little friggin' roulette and just fight some low level dudes. Like, okay, then you can both can do whatever you want. Like one guy will play on a higher difficulty versus the other and have the same enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I
I
just
really don't like how Pokemon never had a difficulty setting in their game. It's always
yeah.
just this is just the game.
Well, back in the day, Pokemon just was hard. Like even as an adult today, like playing Platinum as an example, Aaron brings it up. Platinum as a Platinum is hard as fuck. Like unless you
That was
grind,
was that Luigi's game?
that Platinum is Giratina, so Gen 4. So Diamond Pearl
Gen 4.
Platinum.
Right, Diamond Pearl Platinum, right now I remember.
That game is fucking hard. Like they stepped it that is a game in where they actually upped the levels for some of the I think gym leaders and the champion. Compared to Diamond and Pearl, they upped the levels and stuff to make it even harder. And fuck, man, that game is tough. Like, even as an adult now, like trying to play through it is like, even I want to use my Pokemon. I want to use the ones that I like. And some of the Pokemon I like are not like, super strong, high base stat Pokemon or favorable Pokemon to use. And it makes it challenging. Like, it makes it super fucking challenging and super hard. And that's what I've really liked about the game, because when I beat it and I finally beat it, that was probably one of the most satisfying moments I think I ever had playing a game, which is why
That's
Gen
the
4 is
thing.
one of my favorite games, because
That's the
it's
thing that I
hard.
felt with. See, that's what I didn't feel with Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet felt like I was trying to get through the story, like in the main events, like it was a chore kind of thing. Like I was just doing it to get them out of the way so I could get on to what I wanted to do, kind of thing.
Yeah. I wish it was more of a challenge, not a chore. I wish it was a
Yeah,
challenge and not a chore. I think that would drastically change the games and fix them completely and make them much better. Like when you had to fight, when you were going down Arvin's route and you had to fight like these big Pokemon, these, oh, where are these things coming from? They're coming from Area Zero. Like they're big. These fucking Pokemon are coming out of the woodworks and they're huge. And I was just like, you know, this should be hard. Like going into this battle, this thing should be a tough battle. And I will give them credit. Some of them were hard battles. Some of them were actually pretty difficult battles. Like that
yeah,
was
I
the
remember a
aspect.
few of them being really hard.
Yeah, the Arvin storyline with the big Area Zero Pokemon that you had to like fight was fun
That was a
because it
challenging
was a
section.
challenge. Like Donzo or whatever you had to fight in the water, and Tatsugiri. Like you had to do a double
That's
battle
what
with
made it fun
Tatsugiri
though,
and
is because it was a
Donzo.
challenge. You couldn't just walk in there with a generic team you had and win. You had to think
You
and
had to think about it.
strategize.
Yeah, you had to really think about it.
That's what made it fun.
Mega scrapping my goat. But that's what I liked about Arvin's like storyline. But the gym battles were like, if you wanted to make it challenging, you gotta take a different route. You gotta take on a stronger gym leader before taking on the others if you want to make it actually challenging. The rest of the battles were pretty relatively easy. And then the whole running in.
They fumbled that open concept thing about the gyms
Yeah,
so
they really
badly.
should have. If you're gonna do the open concept, you really should just do the level capping. And then the other storyline
Reminds
was
me,
Team Star.
did you ever hear about the actual like in-universe reason why gym leaders you go to only use certain amounts of Pokemon when you meet them?
I don't know why that's a thing. I just assume it's
Well,
because like early game they
it,
start with like 2, then 3, then 4 or whatever.
no, because I was watching an anime show, Pokemon. Was it Pokemon Origins? Is that what I was watching? It was like an anime version of Pokemon Fire Red, where it was just like red and
Oh yeah,
blue
yeah.
doing
Origins
their thing.
goes about I think Red Story. I think is
Yeah,
what
it's Red
Origins
Story. But no,
does.
when he gets to Brock's gym, Brock asks him how many badges he has, and he tells him like, "Well, I don't have any." Like, okay, if you don't have any badges, then I'll just use 2 Pokemon to fight you instead of the usual roster kind of thing. And that's like the
That's actually
in-universe
so
reasoning.
weird. So in their it's like they almost self-admit they are fully aware that we could add this aspect of, oh, Brock is under the assumption maybe you have a couple other gym badges, so I'll use a stronger party. But
Yeah, no, like it happens. It happens plain in that episode. Brock asks him, "How
So
many
they're
badges do you
like-
have?" Like, "Oh, I don't have any." Oh, okay, then I'll use 2 Pokemon against you since you don't have any badges.
yeah, they're like astutely aware of this idea that there's like, hey, we know that we could do this. We're just not gonna do it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot about that. I forgot Brock does that. Cause that's what I
pretty-
wish. That's what
it's
I
a
wish
pretty
the
good
games would do. Is
Explanation, if you ask me.
wait, what?
I said it's a pretty good explanation if you ask me.
I wish that they would. That's something I wish they would do. Like you go to the gym leader and they ask like, how many badges do you have? Show them. Oh, I don't have any. They're like, okay, I know. Then I'll use these two. Or let's say the fucking gym next to you is like Scarlet Violet, the bug gym. Let's say you say, fuck that bug gym. I'll take that one last. You go up to the bug gym and then she's like, oh, you have all 7 badges? All right, I'm your last one. She whips out the fucking woodworks and has like a whole ass team.
Like full 6 team,
Yeah,
full 6
like a
Pokemon
full
team
6 team.
of
So
all high evolved Pokemon at high level. Yeah, that would be perfect if they made the badges more significant for that aspect of it.
which is something they can easily do. It's not that hard. It's 8 gyms.
I can't imagine it.
There's not
I
that
can't
many
imagine it
combinations.
difficult.
There's not that many combinations. You can do the combinations by like if they battle it with like this range. If they battle it in this range, if they battle it in this range. It doesn't take that long to put the combinations together. It's really not. Especially for a company like them, you could easily construct a team for whether they're the first or second gym, third gym, fourth gym, fifth gym, sixth gym, seventh gym, or eighth gym.
This makes me laugh, Marcus, that it took them 20 years to explain why the first gym leader always uses just like very weak Pokemon against you. It took them 20 years to give us a reason for that.
Yeah, it took them. Well, hell, they didn't even do. It kind of almost seems like they, in Scarlet and Violet, like you kind of say, like in Scarlet and Violet, there is no like match base, so it almost, or not match base, level cap, so it almost feels like it's designated like the bug gym knows she's the first, you know what I mean? Like she knows she's the weakest, but that's what I don't understand, because I think what makes a gym leader should be the fact that I'd imagine a gym leader, to become a gym leader, you have to kind of take on the whole circuit, right?
And that's why I liked what they did in Sword and Shield better, because they acknowledged that the gyms have their specific like number that they have to go through them in a specific order, but once you do them all, you can fight them all again with their full team rosters after the game is done.
I forgot they did that. Yeah, you know what?
Like
That's one thing I'll give Sword and Shield. That is something
like the Milo, the grass gym leader, his team in the first round is like pretty weak, but after you become the champion, you can go back and face him again, and then he uses a full 6-team roster of super evolved Pokemon.
I forgot. You know what? I forgot he does that.
They all do that. Every gym in Sword and Shield is like that.
That's one thing I'll give Sword and Shield. That is something that I completely forgot is a thing. I completely.
Now, see if they did that with every game. See, and they explained it well in that game why Milo was perceived as a weak gym, because he's the first gym that you face on like your journey or whatever. I just liked how they
Does Scarlet
structured
and Violet do that?
Sword.
Does Scarlet and Violet have it where after game you can face them all again?
In their gyms, I don't know. I know you can face them at random in that ongoing tournament that they have at the school, but I don't know if you can go back to the actual gym and face them again. I never tried.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know. I like the idea of a level cap. I like the idea of like, how many badges do you have? Oh, you have this many. Okay, well, I got a team for this. You know, I like that idea. I like that design. I think that would be so much better.
You know what? Honestly, Marcus, you nailed it on the head, because the badges could be the like cover paint for the level cap.
What do you mean?
Well, like you said, we have a level cap, but the level cap is dictated by the badges you have when you get to the gym.
Oh yeah, no, it could easily be put into the game through like the badges as a way to level cap, which
Like if you have 3 badges, you'll face opponents that are levels like 30 through 35 or something in the gym or whatever.
yeah. I mean, hell, dude, Pixelmon has it that way. Fucking Pixelmon does that. It's just they could do that very
Another
easily.
example of fans doing what fans want while the actual company doesn't.
Yeah, it's just it's something that they could easily add. I really, really, really hope they do that. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't.
Funny when you
It's
examine certain things Pokemon has that, and they can do, and they just haven't, but you can't, for the life of you, come to the reason why they wouldn't do it when it would just be another. Like, it can't be that labor intensive.
it's not well, here's the thing. That's why you say like they get lazy, right? Like it's not that labor intensive. This is maybe and
They
I'm
just know
being
you'll buy
dead
the game if
fucking
they
I'm
do.
being
They
dead
know.
serious. You could get this done in 3 business days. You can maybe get this done in like 3 business days. Figure out a team for you can have a party for each gym leader probably in a room and just be like, "Hey, let's figure out what each gym leader and their trainers that are in their gym, let's figure out what each of their Pokemon is going to be if they're gym 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and what levels they're going to be." And they'd probably get it done on that day. One fucking day.
The sad thing is, though, Marcus, they know they don't have to do that. All they have to do is the bare fucking minimum, and people will still buy it in the
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah. I just like it's not that labor intensive. It's easy to do. It's super 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 easy to do. Super easy. I feel like as a fucking community, I could probably get my community members together and we could all come together and pick out fucking every gym leader's, Pokemon and their level
We should
cap.
do that one. We should do that one day.
Like we could do that, as fucking a group of friends could do that in a day. It's not hard. And even adding the factor of a level cap, like adding a factor of, let's say you put it on a difficulty meter and it caps your Pokemon at a certain level so they can't evolve any further until you beat the next gym. That is something you could add in with ease. That has been done by literal. These are in games like Radical Red and all these other games. Like,
That's the point. Like, these aren't radical new concepts. They've been around forever.
yeah, these are
So it's not like
concepts that have
we're
been
not
done by
we're
guys
not
who've
trying
made games
to
by themselves.
like we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make our game a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. We're not trying to reinvent Pokemon from the ground up.
Yeah. Well, and my hope is it brings me back to what I said earlier. My hope is that games like Digimon and Pal Worlds bring in a little bit more comp. And maybe lights a fire under them and says like, you need to do better, you need to get better now. Like this needs to change. And so they choose to actually do something.
I'm really curious how ZA is going to sell, because if it doesn't sell, because it might not sell as well as a lot of people think it will.
Realistically, as a fan of the game, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't sell that great. Because I know very well if it doesn't sell great, Pokemon's not going to be happy. And they're probably going to do something. They're going to do something. They have to do something. They can't just get lazy.
The issue with that is, though, Marcus, we don't know what they would do.
That is true. That is very true.
They would do something, probably, yes, but what would that be? We have no idea. Would they abandon their battle mechanic? Would they abandon Mega Evolution again? Like, what would they do if they didn't sell well?
I think here's the thing. If it doesn't sell well, if they, instead of listening to fans, instead of listening to fucking fans, if they choose to think that it's like some sort of, oh, it's the battle mechanic, oh, it's this, we're just going to go back to old formula and then just continue to be lazy, it's just going to bite them in the ass again. It's just going to bite them in the ass again, and it's not going to work.
That's the thing. I feel like Pokemon as a franchise probably can't fail, but the Pokemon video game side of it can.
It can. I think Pokemon could come to a fucking screeching halt and crumble if other games continue to keep one-upping them, and if they don't do something about some of the quality of life changes that people want. If they don't do something about it and they just keep doing the same shit of making a game that nobody wants, it's just going to keep going down and down and down until Pokemon, instead of a video game, just becomes a product. It just becomes kind of like Sanrio, where it just becomes a character. Not a game anymore, but it just becomes these characters that you collect instead of
Kind of feels like
games.
it's already starting to do that a little bit.
Oh,
But maybe I'm just
it
being.
is. It is. Pokemon is over the years have become, some people don't even fucking play the games. They just collect a bunch of plushies and say like, this is, I love Pokemon, and they don't even play the games. Like,
Well, hold on, Marcus. It's not really fair to discredit people's level of Pokemon if they don't just because they don't
oh,
play
they don't
the
have to play the
games.
games. I don't think they have to play the games. I'm just saying the games in itself will die and it'll just become an idea, and this like it'll just become an anime and just a it'll
I
just
do
become
feel like
like a
Legend ZA is going to be a major, like, it's going to be a major turning point for the Pokemon video games with how ZA performs.
I
It's going to
think it'll
dictate
be a
what happens
fun,
with Gen. I feel like the reactions and like the reviews we see of ZA will have a direct impact on what they do with Gen 10.
yeah. I think it's gonna be a fun game, but it's gonna be a fun game that doesn't make money. I think that's what it's gonna do.
Mm.
I don't think it makes a lot of money. I don't think it hits a big quota. I don't think it's gonna produce a lot. I could be wrong, because I know Scarlet and
And
Violet hit a lot and it made a lot of
you know,
money. But
you know what, Marcus? Wouldn't it be funny if that a reason why ZA doesn't sell well is because people aren't buying Switch 2, so then Nintendo just coincidentally releases a patch that optimizes ZA for the regular Switch? Wouldn't that be funny?
that would be, I mean, realistically, that would fuck them over even more, I think, with the Switch too.
Because it would pretty much prove them say like, yeah, we could optimize it for the regular Switch and
At
you don't have
that
to buy the
point, they
Switch
should
2.
just, I don't know, lower the price of the Switch too.
Yeah, because you cannot sit there and tell me that the Pokemon Company does not talk to Nintendo about the price of their
Oh
products.
no,
I highly
yeah.
doubt that.
The Switch 2 should not be $500. Plain and simple, the Switch 2 should be affordable. It should be a, realistically, that thing
Maybe
should be like a $300 console, maybe.
I was gonna say maybe 350 if you got like a special edition including with a game or something.
Yeah, but
But 500
500 is fucking crazy.
for the base model at that, like hard fucking no.
And Switches have, and I'll say
Especially
this,
when it's
like comparing it to the other, because 500 is the same price as an Xbox S
an
or
Xbox Series.
X or something. That's the same price as an X, and I'm gonna be honest, like an X probably runs better than a fucking Switch 2. Like why?
I mean, that's part of the reason why the Switch was so appealing in the first place. Because yeah, it was a decent console that was also handheld and reasonably priced.
Yeah,
But
but then
now it's
they
not.
realized we won the war. Let's just hike the price up as much as physically possible. It's like, dude, like I get the whole like people are saying like it's because of tariffs. Dude, it's not the tariffs. They could sell
No,
they
they
these things
use
would sell
tariffs
like
as an excuse.
these things would sell like fucking crazy if they were $300. They'd make a fucking massive profit if they sold for 300.
Like, do you remember when the PlayStation 5 came out and there was a huge like supply issue for like a year because no one could get their hands on it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That would happen for the Switch too if it was like a couple $100
would.
cheaper.
It would.
You would
If
not
it
find
wasn't
one in a
500
store.
bucks, people would fucking, that thing would sell out so fast because the console in itself sounds amazing. It's got an actual fan in it this time. It's got,
Yeah, like the console itself sounds like a decent machine. It's just the price is just
yeah, the
not
price is
right.
fucking ridiculous. And I am going to get a Switch 2 because, you know,
I
do
will get
want it.
one when in like after a year probably when
Yeah,
the price drops and the second generation of it's out. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know those first gen, brand new first gen consoles always have so many bugs in them.
They do. They do. It's just I'm gonna get it. It's just I don't want to pay 500, but the sad reality is that, you know, you're gonna have eventually you're probably gonna end up having to get them because some games are probably only gonna be released on 2.
I'd say we probably
And
have at least a year, maybe 2 years of Simo releases, like for Switch and Switch 2. Then probably by like 2030, there won't be making any new games for the
yeah,
Switch,
so
like the
you
regular
eventually
Switch.
you kind of have to move on. You have to like move on to the next. And the
Right,
other
but
thing
by
I hate
that point,
about
I mean, like Switch 2 is probably going to be a lot cheaper than it is now.
the other thing I hate about the Switch 2 being 500 is that the thing is like the last console, the Switch, people fucking hated the Switch because the remotes cost like $70 for different controllers. For
Yeah,
different
Joy-Cons were
colored controllers. $70.
Joy-Cons were such a fucking
And they
terrible market.
break.
They were
They
so
broke so
expensive.
fucking easily. I have like all my Joy-Cons, half of them, the joystick is like fucking just so shitty. So
Bad stick drift.
yeah, stick drift. So I have to use I want to go out and buy those like uh just the ones that you hook up to it and you just use the controller, like a physical like controller instead of like the joysticks.
So like let's break this down for a second, Marcus. So you have your Switch 2, which we'll just say 500 for nice simplicity. Then we have our brand new Pokemon game, which let's call it $70. But then we're probably going to need to have our season pass for the DLC that of course they're going to have.
Oh,
So
technically you can buy the Switch 2 with Pokemon and it's the same price. I think it's 500 with Pokemon installed into it. But the problem with me is I like mine physical I like getting mine as a physical copy. I don't like getting them as a digital. It puts
okay,
it in digitally.
all right,
So
then yeah, we'll treat this as a physical hypothetical. So
okay,
you have
physical.
your Switch 2, $500. Then you get your copy of Pokemon, $70. But then you're going to need your season pass for the DLC that comes out. So let's call that another 30. And then you're probably going to have some. I don't know if Pokemon would go so far as to do straight up in-game microtransactions, so I won't put that as hypothetical. But I
I
will
don't
put as
think they
hypothetical
will.
is what I will put though is that you're still paying $5 a month for your Pokemon home storage, so
Oh,
you can
you're
carry all your
right.
Pokemon over.
Oh, and don't forget, you got to pay for Nintendo Online too. You got to pay
Yeah,
for
you
the
need to
Nintendo
pay your Nintendo
Online
Online
thing.
subscription every year. Which I mean, they're not super expensive, but it adds up after a while. So for
Well,
this
yeah,
whole
when you pay
brand
for all
new
these things.
Pokemon experience, you're probably looking at around 650 to $700 for this brand new Pokemon experience just to get started, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I know that they're diehard fans of Pokemon, but you have to do an awfully good job selling me on buying it if it's going to cost me this much money in total to
No, yeah.
experience the
And
game as
like
intended.
it's like I said, what if that Joy-Con doesn't work anymore? What do you got to do? Oh,
Oh,
now I got to go spend another fucking $70 for another Joy-Con. And then, a couple months down the line, breaks again. Got to spend another 70
oh,
bucks for another
but don't
Joy-Con.
forget, if you're buying a Switch 2, you definitely want to buy a screen protector, probably a carrying case.
Oh, true. True. See, that's how not Pokemon, but that's how Nintendo gets you, dude. They all these like little things, they seem like small prices, but you end up spending so much for all these accessories. When other consoles, it's like I'll pay $500 for an Xbox, but all I need is realistically, all I need is just the one controller it comes with, and then
Controller, a
what?
couple cords, and you're good to go.
Yeah, a couple cords, and I already have these cords anyway, so it's not like it's gonna matter. And maybe down the line, yeah, you might break your controller, so you get one more, but you can get a cheap controller for like $40. You can get just a new like controller for like $40 or something, and it'll last you for a long time. But Nintendo makes these like fucking cheap ass they make these cheap ass Joy-Cons, and then you got to get all these like cool little accessories and shit for everything as well. And
See,
it's
that's my
just
biggest issue. That's my biggest issue about Pokemon is I hate it when a game upsets precedent. Do you know what I mean by that?
not really.
Okay, so I'll compare this to you. So I know I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of Digimon, right? But no Digimon game has ever had every single Digimon in it. So there's no precedent for a Digimon game that should have every Digimon in it. Of course, I would like that, but that's never happened, probably won't. Fine. But up until they went to the Switch, every Pokemon game had the entire Pokedex in it. But then when they went to the Switch and DLC, they took that away.
Yeah.
That's like that's my biggest issue with Pokemon games nowadays is that whenever I play them, I feel like I'm only getting a piece of the Pokemon pie, so to speak, kind of thing. I get why, I understand if it's a business decision, but I mean, like, at the same time, if I'm buying a Pokemon game, I'm expecting all the Pokemon to be in it on
Oh
to
no,
some
yeah,
level. Like, is that
especially
is that
it's
is that unreasonable? Is that
that's not
unreasonable?
unreasonable because let's say your favorite one's not in it. What the fuck are you going to do? You know? Like the thing I always argue is that try new Pokemon. I always argue you should really be trying new Pokemon. You probably, if you're going into the new games and you want just like your generic Gen 1 Pokemon, sorry, probably try new Pokemon. I always say that. You should try new Pokemon, but I still think
But I mean,
Pokemon
like,
has the
people are going to have
capacity
their
to give people
favorites
the
they want to play.
options. Yeah, Pokemon should give people the option to at least want to play what they want to play
Like,
with.
you can't convince me. Honestly, a Pokemon executive couldn't convince me that there's a legitimate reason why they couldn't have the national Pokedex in every Pokemon game on the
No,
Switch
yeah.
when it launches.
I think it should
Like,
exist. I think it should exist. I think every Pokemon should be in the game. But I do understand the aspect of like telling somebody like you should really try the new Pokemon. You should really give it a shot, right? Because like you're gonna play the new game, might as well try out the new Pokemon. Like every new game, every new gen comes out, I don't catch a
you know what?
single Pokemon from another generation. I catch a Pokemon from
Okay,
the new
fine.
generation.
I will happily try out new Pokemon in the new game, but I still want access to my old ones.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's like Gen 5, right? Gen 5, you can't access the older generation Pokemon until you beat the game. I'm okay with that. I like that. I like that they did that in Gen 5.
I'm fine with that. The point is that it's there. It's when it's not there at all is
No,
the
yeah.
issue.
Yeah. Cause at least in Gen 5, like, yeah, they're basically forcing you to play with new Pokemon. Try the new Pokemon. They're like saying, like, try the new Pokemon. There's like hundreds of them. You gotta try them all. And then
Yeah,
you can
fair,
have
fair.
then you can have your old generation Pokemon. And I'm like, okay,
If they
that's
did
fine
that,
with
I
me.
wouldn't. If they did that, I wouldn't really have a complaint because I have to complete the game first, sure. But at least after I finish the game, I can go back and do the Elite Four again with my team from my Pokemon home setup. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
It's when you give me a Pokemon game, a core Pokemon game like Gen 10, and you say, "Oh, this game has like 450 Pokemon in it." Like, okay, we both know that's not the entire National Pokedex. That's like less than half. So
Yeah.
don't sit there and bullshit me that
I don't
they
give a fuck if they
don't have
don't.
a reason.
Let's say they don't add like, oh, they don't add Ultra Beast. They don't add like maybe some gimmicky type Pokemon, maybe region specific. Sure, that's okay. If you don't want to add in like some of them that are like weird to add in, I get it. I understand some of those. But I think you should at least add pretty much the mass majority of Pokemon. If you don't want,
Like
if you don't
probably
want
at
to
minimum
add
the
in,
original 150. The
yeah,
original
like
150 should be in every Pokemon game, frankly.
it. I think that they should add every Pokemon. If you don't want to add, like for example, if you don't want to add Alolan variants, it's fine.
Yeah, Alolan variants,
If
stuff
you
like
don't want
that.
to add
You don't have to add
Galar
that if you don't want
variants,
to.
you don't have to do that. If you don't want to add in, like, if you don't want to add in, like I said, Ultra Beast, I get it.
Like, yeah,
How are you going to add
that's
those in?
fine.
That's weird ones to add. You know, we don't have an Ultra Beast world in this generation, so it makes sense. You don't have to add those. It's fine.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But don't leave out like fucking Jesus. Someone's favorite Pokemon might be Sunkern and Sunflora, but you're not gonna put them in because it's just not a popular Pokemon. It's like, come on, just add it in. It's not that hard. You just put it in the fucking game. Like it's
Like the hour of work and probably 2 bits of space it takes up in the computer.
yeah, it doesn't take up space at all. It's easy to put in the game. You know, it's not hard. So
But
I
see,
just
it's frustrating that they know they don't have to, and people are still going to buy the product, knowing that they're fit. To me, when you buy a Pokemon game nowadays, you're buying an incomplete product because the entire Pokemon roster isn't in it. That may be super like boomer of me or whatever because I'm like old school like that, but that's just my personal
no,
belief on it.
I
Like
agree. I agree. It's not fully
if
finished.
I'm buying a core, like if I'm buying Gen 10 and it doesn't have the entire National Pokedex in it, minus like the like variants and whatnot, I feel kind of cheated because I'm like, well, I'm expecting all the Pokemon to be in it at least, but you're only going to give me 400 out of like the 1,000 plus. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's just like it's an easy ad that a lot of people are pissed off about. I've said before that I get it kinda in the sense that like, you know, it's a lot of Pokemon and they want you to try new ones. Sure, great. I wanna try new ones too. But, you know, for the fans that really want to try playing with their favorites, you know, let them play with their favorites. And you know, another thing to add in is if you could add every Pokemon in the game, do that. And if you could do a new game plus and you can allow people to bring maybe some, like, let's say a new game plus and you're allowed to bring, you know, it's like new game plus as in like you keep your Pokemon, but the gym leaders get stronger and whatnot. Then you can
you know what I
use
would
some
love
of the
to do?
Pokemon and
I
go through
would
it again.
absolutely love to do a new Game Plus run through in like the hardest difficulty and rock a team of level hundreds and just see how that goes.
And it's
If I
all
could like,
your favorites. It's all your favorites that you caught in the after game that you got
yeah,
access to.
that would be
It's
so sick to go through all the gyms with like a team of level 100 legendaries and shit.
that would be that's what some people want. It's like, listen, it's just the way I see it is like I play the game the way I like to play it. The way I play
Yeah,
it is not how everybody likes to fucking play it. And Not everybody
Right.
should have to be subjected to playing it the way like I like to play it, where I like to play with the new Pokemon of the new generation. So I don't touch any of the old generation stuff. I like to touch the new gen stuff. But if someone wants to touch the old gen stuff, let them touch the old gen stuff. If someone wants to catch a fucking Pikachu in the Scarlet and Violet game, and everybody looks at them and they're like, "Oh, Pikachu? You really want to use Pikachu? Don't you use them
And
in
see, I
like
think,
every fucking game?" It's like, let them
and you
do
know
it,
what,
man.
Marcus? You know what, Marcus? I think it's important to remember that every Pokemon game is somebody's first Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of important, especially for younger fans who get into Pokemon for the first time, that they have access to like the whole library of Pokemon kind of thing.
Oh,
So they get
yeah, that is true.
the full experience of it. Because I mean, like I played Pokemon for 20 plus years. You played it for 10 plus years. So I mean, like I'm well acquainted with all of them. But for some kid, Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be their first Pokemon game ever,
And they
kind of
don't know
thing.
what fucking they don't know what some of the old gens are. They don't even know some of the classics. They've never even played it. They don't even have access to a DS to play it. They can't play it.
Exactly. Think about that. That's going to be someone's first Pokemon game.
That's actually depressing. That's why I'm never selling my copies. If I ever have kids, I'm going to let them experience the good shit. I'm going to give them the good
Oh,
stuff.
bro, I wish I kept my copies of Red and Blue because I ran into I saw them like I saw a couple copies for sale at a game store a few months back, and the price he was asking for was holy shit.
Dude, some places ask for a ridiculous price. I
One guy wanted $140 for the box for Pokemon Blue, not the
Dude, I
game in
ran
it,
into a
just the
guy who
box.
I ran into a store and I knew damn well they were like scalpers or something. They wanted around $200 for X and Y. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you want for fucking red and blue? What,
Oh, you don't
500
even want to
bucks?
know.
You want fucking $500 for red and blue? I'm not paying that for
If You should go on one day or when you're bored, go on eBay and look up like Pokemon Red or Pokemon Yellow, like in box and stuff, and you'll see how ridiculous the prices are. People are betting on them for.
they
And
like
what's even
upcharge
crazier
them.
is that they're selling too. I mean, like people are buying them, so
I mean,
clearly
I
people are willing
I
to pay the
I I
price.
will say that if that's my only option, it does cross my mind that maybe I would shell out $100 for a old game like that because I really like the game. But
It would really depend on how much
it
I'd
would
like a
really,
game to.
yeah, it would really depend. Like, I will say that I love the old games like so much that like if I came across one that I thought was maybe a little reasonable, I'd buy it even if it was pretty expensive, just because I really, really, really like the games. But
No, brother asking $140 for the box of Pokemon
for the
Blue was
box
just
is
fucking.
ridiculous. Yeah. I don't even know. I wouldn't even to be fair, I don't put a price on mine. I'm never selling mine, but
I wish I kept my old copies. One though, there's one. Funny enough, there's one thing I do need to do one day is go through my grandmother's old collection of Disney VHS tapes because we have a bunch of those, and apparently those are quite expensive now. The collector's.
VHS tapes? Oh, collector item VHS tapes. Actually, that is pretty cool. Who the fuck even has VHS tapes or not like VHS
Nope.
players anymore?
Oh, my grandmother's.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that'd be a cool thing to
No, I don't
collect
think
as
you. I don't think you can.
VHSs.
I don't think you can even buy them anymore. Like a
No,
VHS
I don't
player. I
think
don't
you can.
think you can.
Well, you probably could if you go to
Well, I
like
mean, like
a
you
thrift
can, but you
store.
can't. You couldn't go to like a Best Buy and find one
No,
brand new
no,
on the shelf kind of
no.
thing.
You'd have to go to
Can't
a
even
thrift
find.
store or something and find it
Fuck,
at like a
dude,
thrift store.
I couldn't even buy a DVD player from Best Buy because they didn't friggin' sell them anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right. They don't do that. We're in streaming world now, so we don't do DVDs anymore. Really, like DVDs
Because
aren't
I
really a
bought
thing anymore.
because like I bought a brand new computer a few years ago, like a brand new laptop, which doesn't have a CD drive. Of course, it doesn't. And I wanted to watch something that I couldn't stream, so I was like, oh, I'll just stick it in. I'll just go and get a DVD player and hook it up to my laptop. Like, oh no, we don't sell DVD players. Going like, what the fuck do you mean you don't sell DVD players? It seems like a pretty basic piece of tech. Like, oh yeah, it's all streaming nowadays. So I had to go on Amazon and find a DVD player to buy off of that.
Yeah, you'd
Like,
have to go.
Jesus Christ.
Well, either you go on Amazon or you used consoles. You can use consoles for it because consoles have the built-in
My,
DVD players on them and stuff.
I'm a big believer in physical media. If I'm a big believer in physical media still, I really don't trust the friggin'
No, yeah, I
online
I agree.
shit.
That's why I buy my games in physical copies,
But
because I
it's
like
just
them
not
that
our
way.
world it's just not our world anymore, Marcus. It's all it as much as we love physical media, it's gone. It's not coming back.
That's why, listen, man, that's why I'm keeping hold of some of these like like some of my consoles and stuff, because I go out to like I go out to these like record stores that have like DVDs of like movies, and that's I'll buy like movies of like my favorite movies or something, and I'll keep them and stuff, and I don't care. Like, I sound like an old, I sound kind of like an old person now, but like
Well, no, but it's true
it's
though. Like
like
I would like I'm a huge Godzilla nerd, right? And I make it a point that whenever I can get a physical copy of a Godzilla movie, I'll get it because it's so infrequent how they're available online, and that eventually will be true for anything that you enjoy watching online. Like I just saw an article the other day, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine is being taken off of Canadian Netflix
oh
after
my
being on there
god,
for like 10 years.
dude. That's I was gonna use
You
that as
know,
an example. Parks and Rec is one of my favorite shows, and it just kept getting taken off of like certain sites, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for another fucking streaming
like
site.
so
So
you
I
just
just
chase
bought,
around your favorite you chase your favorite show from service to service to
yeah,
service kind of
so I
thing.
just bought the whole show set,
Yeah,
like
like
DVD
it's
set.
more money up front, but at least you'll have it forever.
You'll have it
You're like
forever. You don't have to fucking pay for monthly services. You'll just have it. So
goddamn, I hate that so much. Like don't get me wrong, I think streaming services are a great thing, but it really pisses me off when I get a streaming service for a specific show and then that show gets taken off of it for whatever rights reason. Going like, well, fuck,
what
that was kind of a
I like streaming services. I'm not like against it. I like that
no.
they exist
Either
because
am
it,
I. I like that they exist.
yeah, I like it's that it's an option. I like that you can, but the problem is that there's too many. There's like
And,
fucking,
and you know what royally pisses me off more than anything is that when only certain seasons of a show are
oh
available.
my
Holy
god.
fuck, does that drive me up the
Yeah,
fucking wall?
one season's here, the other season's here. That's what pissed off South Park's creators, because they had like one part of South Park on HBO, one part on Paramount. And so they were like, fuck Paramount. So they like shit
Yeah,
on their own streaming service. And I was just like, hell yeah.
like Jesus Christ, that pissed me off so much. Like I love Law and Order, and like I was watching on Amazon Prime, but on Prime they have like seasons 1 through 10. Then if you want seasons like 10 through 14, you need to buy this subscription plus Prime. But then if you want seasons 15 through 18, you need to buy this other
That's
subscription as well. Going
crazy.
like fuck you.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I
That's
just
without doubt my biggest pet peeve with
I
streaming
you know
services is when there's only a season of a show available and it's like an 8 season show. Like fuck you, you know I need to see all of it.
one thing that I've never understood with these streaming services, one thing that I like, and maybe this is like crazy for me to say, maybe people hate what I have to say, but I like that some streaming services allow you to watch a show or a movie without having to like pay for any subscription. So you get to watch the movie, but it just comes with an ad. Like it comes with ads in the middle of the movie or
See,
something.
that makes me laugh so hard because that's really just coming for full circle, isn't
It
it? We
comes
just went
full
back to
circle. We went
we
away
went
from
back
the
to fucking
ads.
commercials. We got commercials back. It took 20 years, but we circled back to commercials.
Yeah, because people got sick of paying for like multiple different services. It's like Tubi. What are the options? It's like Tubi and like all these other ones. They don't really like, you don't have to pay for like a service. You can watch like a movie on there without ads. Same with like Prime has options for movies, but you just have to watch with ads. Some
Yeah,
others,
like that's my point. We just went back to like, okay, we'll just add ads. So you mean commercials? What we wanted to get rid of 20 years ago, we're just gonna go back to that?
yeah,
Like, okay.
yeah. It's sad. It's kind of because
Did you
now
see this
we're.
bizarre article that Xbox is going to allow ads in their games
Oh
or
my
something?
god, I heard about that, dude. It's so fucking
Could you
stupid.
imagine playing?
An
Could you imagine
ad
playing
in the
Call of
middle of the
Duty and
game.
could you imagine playing Call of Duty and you suddenly get an ad for Ozempic in it?
You're in the middle of a match. It's like counting down the match, and all of a sudden you get like a fucking 2-minute ad promoting like some sort of like drug, like Viagra
Like
drug or
if
something.
Xbox
It's
actually
like,
if Xbox commits to that, it won't last. It'll last like a week,
oh,
and
it
then they'll
won't.
realize how
No
much
one's
they
gonna play the
pissed
game.
off
No
everyone.
one's gonna play any games if their game comes with a fucking ad in it. Not
Like I already
only,
spent $80. I already spent $80 to play the fucking game, but now I have a commercial
well,
in it. Like, are you fucking kidding?
not only, not only do you pay for your games, some of these games actually do come with their own built-in. Like when you come up to the main screen, you got to click out of like 5 different things of them probably promoting like a in-game like purchase thing. You have to like
Yeah.
you already have to click out of that like multiple times, them promoting some sort of product that they're trying to sell to you. Even on consoles, like on Xbox, for example, homepage, right below all the games, it's a bunch of things like promoting like different things, like small little ads everywhere. Not only that, but now you got to go into the game, and before you get started on playing the game, like let's use like sports games for an example. Let's say you boot up your new game of 2K on your Xbox and you're getting ready to play the first game, and then then they give you an ad break before you could play your fucking game. I just quit. I would just quit and never play again. I'm not gonna do that.
Same with me. I would just stop playing at that point.
Hey.
No, like I'm not even gonna entertain this. This is stupid as fuck.
Like, am I crazy? Like, these companies have money. I don't really understand what the purpose of adding more ads does. I feel like these companies have money.
It's because they want more money, Marcus.
Because like, what do they gain out of it other than just like, it's not like they're gonna lose money if they don't put the ads in. Like, that's what I don't understand. You're not losing money if you don't.
They'll probably lose money if they put the ads in.
Yeah.
Ironically,
like unironic, like that is true. They'll lose money if that happens. Like,
no,
I just
actually,
don't
unironically,
get it.
Marcus, I've kept you so long. Like, do you have actual content tonight, or were you just hanging out?
Oh no, I didn't have much of content. I didn't have much. The only thing I was gonna cover was maybe the Pyrocynical video from Amos, but I wanted to save that for when everybody was around.
I've already seen that video, and I'm going to tell you, like, it doesn't really. There's nothing game changing in it. It just pretty much points out the obvious like inconsistencies and lies Pyro did, but we already knew all of them. So he's not really. Amos isn't showing us anything really new, but he does. I think he does a pretty decent job of compiling everything into one package.
Okay.
But there's nothing really earth-shaking in there. Though he does do a good job of like compiling all the information and why it was so badly handled and why Pyro got away with it. But there's nothing like there's no new break in the case or anything. It's just more like a recap.
Oh, okay.
That being said, it's not a bad video at all. Like if you've never known about the Pyro drama, I would recommend that video.
Yeah.
But if you already know about
It's like
it
a refresher.
and like
It's like a refresher.
yeah. Yeah, but if you already know about it and know like the details, then you're not gonna really get anything out of it.
Okay. Marcus, we're in late stage capitalism. Everything is meant to be sold to you.
You know what I'm waiting for, Mark? You know what I'm waiting for, Marcus? I'm waiting for the day that the Pokemon company straight up has it on their game, like $2 to buy Squirtle, $2 to buy Bulbasaur for the game.
Dude,
like,
what was the company that said they were gonna to reload your gun in like a multiplayer
oh
game?
yeah.
To
you
add
have to
like
pay
the
for it.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
I don't remember. I think
it
might have been
was
Call
for
of Duty.
I thought it was for Battlefield. I thought
One of those
someone
two. It was
wanted
one of
to
those
like
two.
add that aspect into Battlefield, and everybody was like, "What? I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay like a couple dollars to reload my gun. This isn't an arcade. Like, what? This isn't like an arcade, dude. This is like I'm at home playing my fucking my game that I paid $80 for. Like, what?
Do you want to keep watching the Sacred Almighty video?
EA patented the idea. Okay. Yeah, I can finish up this video. We're almost done with it, so.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
we're
I
almost
give
done.
my
Let's see what-
honest opinion, then I just leave. If I don't like it, I don't upload content on it. You know, unless I do, because you have to get the first impression out first. I think for me, a lot of people don't understand it, don't realize that I am a YouTuber. I do primarily Pokemon content. I would be an idiot not to give these things a try and be open-minded to the things that could make me more money and could give me more of a following. There's two sides to this. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you guys are hypocrites." Ooh, ooh. As a content creator, it's like, no, this is my job. This is my job. I would be an idiot not to at least give it a try. Whereas you, somebody who don't make money playing video games, somebody who doesn't benefit anything from the YouTube space and or the content creator space, you have full
Pepsi Trying
autonomy
desperately
in
to
buying
escape.
this mid.
Oh
or
no,
this,
Big
like,
Aaron. I
whatever
like
that
Marcus.
you
Marcus
know
is
you
fun to
would
talk
not
to.
like. A lot of the times, a lot of people will see these things and you'll see the very first trailer and you'll go on every single trailer going forward ever since the very first trailer, and you'll openly talk about how this game is not for you, how you're gonna skip this game, as if you matter so much to the big scape of things. And it's like, if you're not gonna buy it, don't buy it. You've been watching every single trailer, knowing you're gonna buy the game, but then you're gonna say you're not gonna buy it. A lot of you all buy the game still. A lot of you, that's the truth. A lot of you buy the game still. I know a lot of people like to be like, oh, Nick, you still get the games too. Like I said, I say this all the time. I have not bought a game from Nintendo in so long. I've gotten everything from free, whether it was been gifted to me or somebody from the company sends me something, or
Homemade
you know,
blue
I think
cheese
that
dressing.
you as a consumer, you have a lot more power than you're
Ooh.
willing to admit. I think that I need to understand that you saying one thing and doing another is completely like obsolete as to what the hell it is you're doing. I'm part of the machine, chat. I hate to break it. I'm part of the machine, y'all. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can skip out on a game. I've done it before when Pokemon Sword and Shields DLC came out. I was building Radical Red. I was building Radical Red when those games came out. Everybody was like, why are you not talking about the game? I don't care about Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield are bad games. How would I know? I played the games for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I did not support anything Sword and Shield DLC. It's documented. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we have to understand when things are not for us and be okay with things not being for us. You know, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to do a lot of things. It's okay, bro. But I do think that it's very interesting seeing that Pokemon is the one that, or Digimon is the one that you guys are using to bash this series, when there have been, again, so many other monster taming games that have just done Pokemon correctly, like Nexomon Extinction, Koromon, Monster Crown is another good one. Cassette Beast is out there. Lumentail is supposed to come out later this year, and Lumentail is actually made by the developers of Pokemon Xenoverse. I want to say Power World, but Power World is more Arc than it is Pokemon, so like I can't really say that. Everybody keeps mentioning Monster Hunter Stories. I've never played.
I've heard, I like SV DLC. I've heard the DLC for the newer games is pretty good, but I know that Sword and Shields, I played it myself. I played it myself, and I just didn't really enjoy it. It was a waste of my money.
I just got the DLC for Scarlet and Violet for the old gen Pokemon I wanted to catch, which I'm sure is like kind of the point of the DLC, because it's all a bunch of old gen Pokemon.
Well, it adds more, which I heard that the newer ones in SV. I heard the ones in SV actually add like something of interest instead of like Sword and Shield, where the DLCs were like, there's really nothing. Like you get like a legendary, that's all you get.
Oh yeah, they added a bunch of legendaries too that you can hunt down. That was cool.
Yeah, but in Scarlet, not Scarlet Violet, sorry, Sword and Shield, it is literally just like, there's no like new story. It's not like you're following like a cool little story or going down a new path. You're literally just like, go to a new area, and then you just get the new legendary, and that's pretty much all it is, which I didn't want to spend my money on that. It was really bad.
No, that's fair.
So yeah, they were pretty bad.
1 or 3, I'm pretty sure 3's coming out soon, but I've only gotten a little bit into Monster Hunter Stories 2. I'm just not a Monster Hunter guy, so I can't really I can't really gauge the I guess the interest there. But you know, there's a lot of games that have been doing the Pokemon formula correctly, but the Pokemon brand is what's doing it for you, and you're not willing to admit that, and it's okay. I think that's like, you know, it's just I need y'all to understand that it's okay to not like things, and it doesn't make you any less of a fan if you guys support it still. It's just, I just want everybody to be consistent with what they're talking about. It's interesting that people who are so against Pokemon and so against whatever are still buying the consoles, are still buying the things. I actually, my console that I got has been gifted to me actually, because somebody had an extra console and they were like, oh, you need it for content. I didn't buy the Switch 2 that I'm getting right now. I didn't get that. I didn't buy
You just
that
say
at all.
someone
It's a
had an
gift for
extra Switch
content
2 and
purposes.
gave it to him?
Yeah, a friend of his had an extra Switch too. Putting this bluntly, they paid $1,000 for 2, and they said, "Hey, you want one?"
Here you go.
They
Like,
paid a full $1,000
Fuck
bucks.
me.
Man, where are my friends like this?
Yeah,
I
really,
need-
right?
I need that. Like,
I'd love to just be given a brand new top of the line console for free just
what the
because.
hell?
You know what I'm saying? I told you all, I wasn't going to get a Nintendo Switch. But hey, my friend was like, yo, I have 3 of them. Here's one.
What did he?
What?
Not 2. He had 3.
No wonder he had extra.
That's 1.5K. That's a lot of money. He spent so much. Holy shit.
Why did he buy 3?
Jesus Christ. Where did this guy get that? And he just handed one of them out for free. He didn't even care. He's got to be somebody that works.
He still had 2. Why would he care?
He must have a friend that just works maybe like with the company somehow, and they gave him like a.
Nah, the dude was probably definitely a scalper.
You think so? Yeah, maybe.
Why else would you buy? Why else would you have 3 Nintendo Switches and just give one away for free? Guarantee you that guy was just a scalper.
Damn, that's crazy. There's no reason to buy 3 of them. Not even 2. I guess maybe 2. Like, let's
if you want to resell them for twice the price, there is.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand too if it's like, let's say you
Christmas
get one
is coming,
and you give
Marcus.
one to somebody
Christmas
else.
is coming, so people are going to spend lots of money for those consoles they want.
True. God.
You go. I'm like, oh, sure. What am I gonna say? No.
Developers are fucking
now
scum.
it kind of sucks though, because now it's like, okay, if I ever want to contribute to the Pokemon landscape whenever new games come out, I'm gonna have to buy the games and then, you know, give my critique on them, or I have to go do maybe fall in Nintendo's good graces. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Fall Nintendo's good graces and stop covering ROM hacks for a minute, and then, like, you know, get the games for free. But that's just not, you know, that's just probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to buy the games if I want to continue to upload new game content, and that's just, I'll get to that when I get there. You know, I think like that's just gonna be one of those crossroad situations where I have to, like, you know, think to myself and be like, all right, what's more beneficial, you know? But
I feel kind of like an asshole for calling Secret Almighty's friend a fucking scalper without knowing who he is or why he had 3 consoles.
Listen, man,
I
why would you have 3?
I can't think of a reason for having 3 of them.
It's like I said, I can understand maybe 2. Like, let's say you bought 2 because you wanted one for yourself, and maybe like you have a family member that really wanted one or something, yeah, as a gift.
But how do you justify the 3rd one?
3, and you just tell your friend, you're just like, hey, you want one?
Yo, you want this Nintendo Switch too?
I got 3 on hand. I mean, you can have one. Like, what?
Like, fuck me.
This guy probably bought more than 3. He probably had a bunch that he just resold.
Yeah, like he said that his buddy had 3. Like, nah, he had
probably
more than
hit
3.
quota. He probably hit like quota for how much he wanted to hit, and he was like, "Oh, I got a few leftovers. Give it to a."
Well,
yeah,
fuck.
you want one?
Back during PlayStation 5, people had like these bots programmed where they would go into like Walmart and stuff and automatically purchase any PlayStation 5 that was listed on like Walmart's website within like nanoseconds. I remember reading, like, not reading, but watching a documentary about it.
Scalpers should be easy. I feel like you should just find a way to.
Not as easy. No, not as easy as you think. Not as easy as you would think. It's actually, I watched a documentary on it. It's actually very, very difficult to stop them from doing what they do, surprisingly.
I feel like, dude, I just wish, like, scalpers are fucking ridiculous, man. Like, unironically, like, lowest, I'm not even trying to be like, no, I am trying to be rude. That's like the lowest of the low. Like, I feel like scalping is like some of the lowest shit you can do.
It really is. It's taking advantage of desperation, which is just a gross thing to do.
Not only is the company in itself, Nintendo, overcharging for this console that's already making people upset that they have to pay $500, but now you're also contributing by selling out the businesses nearby that people want to get the games from, and then making them pay more for the console that they're already upset that they have to pay $500 for.
The local game store here actually had a hard limit of 1 console per person for like a solid year when PlayStation 5 came out. Like, and the guy was actually pretty methodical. Like, he took it by ID and shit.
It's not that bad. Well, what? I feel like scalping is pretty fucking shitty. I feel like
in certain like communities, scalping is extremely bad. Like in the Warhammer miniature community that I look into, scalping there is horrible. People reselling stuff at ridiculous prices. And tech side, like like Marcus, you remember the issue with the 3070 graphics cards from a few years back, eh? How they were being scalped like crazy? You know
What
about that, don't you?
the what?
The graphics cards from a couple years ago.
Oh, the graphics cards. Oh, well, I guess when you put it that way, Big Aaron, true. Lowest of the low. There were pedophiles, my guy. Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, there's murderers and
Okay.
pedophiles. Those are like, yeah, those are the lowest of the low. But scalping is pretty fucking bad. Like, scalping is
It's
like
still a shitty thing to
you're
do.
still
Like,
taking it. Yeah, I feel like you're still taking advantage of like a lot of people who, they just want to like they
have
just
some
want to have
enjoyment
fun.
in
They
their
just want to
life.
enjoy like
Yeah.
these games. They want to enjoy these things without. They're already upset as is that they have to spend like a ridiculous amount on it, and now you're upcharging it for even more, and it's just like you're just taking advantage of. I feel like these companies in general would be pissed at scalpers too.
They get their money either way. What do they care?
I guess that's fair, but I mean, I don't
Like,
know.
remember, the scalper is still paying the company for the product.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
at
the
the same
company's still
time, when
getting
the
the money
company,
for their product.
you would think the company would be like, but you're getting more money out of this. What the fuck?
Yes, but at the same time, they're selling it to millions, where the scalper's selling it to maybe a couple dozen.
I guess that's fair.
So, like, don't get me wrong, scalper's making money, but compared to the profits Nintendo's making, like,
Is there
they
any
wouldn't
law against it? Is there any like
against
massive
scalping.
law? Yeah,
Not that I'm aware of. Not at least not in Canada. There's no law against scalping.
there really should be.
That's just commerce, quite frankly. It's economics. It's like trying to put a law on a thrift store.
You're right.
Because all the guy is doing, I'm buying a product and then I'm selling it for a profit. There's nothing inherently illegal about that. It's a shitty thing for me to do, like in a society standpoint, but from a legal standpoint, they've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, maybe more so putting a law on like let's say you find somebody like
It's a morally bankrupt thing to do. Don't get me wrong, but
honestly, corporations might like scalpers. They help demand and distribute without any investment on their part. Scalpers absolutely hurt companies' bottom lines. It deters people buying future releases. This has already occurred with Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, so companies do actually hate it.
that's interesting.
They do actually. Companies do actually hate
I
it.
even looked at the Nintendo Switch 2 to see how it's been selling. I just assume it hasn't sold great.
I just like I don't know. I feel like there's got to be like maybe not a law in per se like reselling things, but more so like let's say like government sees like an account purchasing like this product at a bulk, right? Like they see like a random account purchasing something on bulk, and it's like, why are you purchasing this like
Well, see,
extremely
that's the
high
thing, Marcus.
priced console?
No, Marcus. They don't buy it in bulk. Scalpers, at least the ones that I've like read about, they'll make 100 different mini accounts and just set them as like bots to automatically like.
Oh,
So they'll buy like the PS5 here, but all the accounts link back to
that's
the
fair
one dude.
because
But he's
that
made like
is fair
100 different
because
accounts.
that's fair because like the places where you buy them like Walmart or Target or whatever, they probably put a
They'll
limit
have a
on
limit,
how
like
much, yeah,
one
how
per
much you can
customer.
actually buy.
So you
Yeah.
just make a bunch of different accounts to look like you're a bunch of different people, when in fact it's just you. You just made like 10 different accounts.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Like
so
it's surprisingly sophisticated how scalpers do it.
every single product is now being marketed towards the 1% who have a ridiculous amount more money than you. The difference is
Yeah,
negligible to them.
Big Aaron's not wrong.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, I don't know. Scalping has just
It's just
it's
depressing.
become such a bad issue like as of recent. Like it has become like a very
Which, you know what,
big
if you want to play
issue.
devil's advocate, online gaming services do technically bypass scalping.
You're not wrong.
So I mean, like, if you want to play devil's advocate, can't scalp an online game.
Nintendo and Pokemon put scalper checks in their websites now. Interesting.
Oh, do they, Gamma? That's good.
That's pretty good, actually. That's good. I want more of stuff like that because like scalping has become as of recent just like an actual massive like problem. There have been studies recently that show that the vast majority of consumption in the economy is down by 2% of the consumers.
No, it's done by 2% of the consumers. That's interesting, Big Aaron.
Is yeah, is done.
I want to read that. I'd have to look that up. That's an interesting statistic. Yeah, and last, like, I buy a lot. Well, between the pandemic and everything going on recently, it's been turmoil for like the last 5 years alone, the last 10.
But yeah, Yeah, scalping's just become such a massive problem. It's frustrating. I don't even know how this fucking guy got his hands on 3. Probably had more. His friend might be scalping, man. His friend might be scalping. In the long term, scalping hurts companies because it limits access to new buyers who might want to get into something for the first time. That is true.
Yeah, that is
That is
true. It does
true.
create like it's like a gatekeeping thing. You can't get this new product unless you pay twice for it because someone else bought it first.
That is fair. That is very, very fair.
Yeah, you're right, Gamma. Keeping it limited to loyal
Maybe,
customers is a
Marcus,
bad
maybe you
idea.
overhated on 100 gex. I did not overhate on 100 gex. 100 gex sucks ass, bro. I'm not gonna change my mind about 100 gex, okay? Sorry. I fucking hate 100 gex.
My biggest concern with Pokemon as a video game franchise is that they're going to try something. How to say this? They're going to try something new and exciting for Generation 10, and I have this sinking feeling in my gut that they're going to fuck it up.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm very
I don't know
worried they're gonna fuck it
how.
up.
I don't know what it will be. I don't know how it'll happen. But I feel like whatever they're planning on doing is like their big Gen 10 moment. Like I feel like they're going to fuck up.
There's a small part of me that wants to be like, maybe they'll do it. Maybe this will be the one. I'm not playing Money Machine. I'm not playing Money Machine. That shit is ass. It fucking hurts. It hurts my ears. 100 gex open for MCR in California? Really? Why? That's terrible.
Further.
You're scaring everyone off. I guess it's Cali.
Did MCR request them to open for them?
They were the only ones in the area.
I mean, hey, a win's a win.
Dude, I would be so pissed if I went to an artist show and they had 100 gex open for them. I'd be like, fuck. Why do I gotta listen to this? I don't even know how that would play on, like... I don't even know how that would play for, like, a live show. MCR's 40-year-old fans probably hated that.
Oh
New
yeah,
Joji
Gamma's
drop?
been waiting. Yeah, Gamma's been waiting all night for a new album to drop he wants to listen to.
You listen to it on your stream, man, if you love it that much. You
Is he
really
still
hate
online,
Hyperpop?
or did he get off?
Hyperpop isn't... Yeah, I mean, Hyperpop is just not, like... I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, Hyperpop is just not good. Like, it's kind of just like... How do I put this? It's like country, right?
Marcus, isn't music supposed to be subjective? Like, what's good to you is not gonna be
music
good
is
to me.
subjective, but that doesn't mean that there's genres that are better than others. Like, for example, like, look at country, right?
That's exactly the opposite of what I just said.
No. Like, look at country. Look at country. Sure, there's gonna be a good...
I like country.
There's some people out there who enjoy country and that's their favorite genre. But most people would say that country is probably a pretty shitty genre.
Most people would not. No, not most people. Most people would say that country is a decent genre. Not most people would say it's a bad genre.
I can find you a genre that is fucking horrendous, and it probably has like maybe tops like 50 fans. And yeah, you could argue that it's just subjective.
And you think country is one of them?
No, I don't think country is one of them. I'm saying like some of these subgenres. But yeah, it might have 50 fans, but if we're going to use the argument of like, oh, it's fucking subjective, then that means like the genre that is like, let's say it's like fucking poopcore, and it's all it is just someone shitting in a toilet, and one guy is like, this shit hits. I fucking love it. If we're going to use the argument of it's subjective, then that means this genre is good because this one guy said poopcore is fucking banging. It's not like Hyperpop.
I think you're taking it to a ridiculous extreme with what I said, but I get your point.
No, it's just like Puddle would love it. Yeah, Puddle would love it. Puddle would love poopcore, but like Hyperpop is just
Puddle makes poopcore.
Hyperpop is a genre that's just overstimulating, and it's just like when you listen to it, it's just all it is just like noises breaking in your ear. And at some point, I'm just like, I'm listening to it and I'm just kind of like sitting there like, what am I anticipating with this song? Because it's not like the lyrics are doing anything.
I'm like that with genres like death metal, where it's just screaming for
Well, yeah,
minutes.
I agree. But that's what I mean by like these are like subgenres. These are like subgenres. Like hyperpop is like a subgenre of pop, and like death metal is like a subgenre of
Oh,
like
Gamma,
metal.
chicken fried. Listen to it every Friday. Every Friday.
I like country. I like country. Don't get me wrong. I actually listen to some country. There is some country that I enjoy. I'm not saying I hate country. I'm just saying, like,
I enjoy
there
the country
are
music when it's
genres.
not depressing. Country's always been a country used to be a very depressing genre of music to listen to because it's always been
Really?
about either a guy, well, at least all the country music I used to listen to when I was younger, a lot of it was either about someone dying, someone losing his wife, or someone losing his dog or his truck.
I was struck.
My personal favorite country song is "I'm Gonna Miss Her." God, I love that song. It's such a brilliant fuck you to the wife. You ever hear
But
that song, Marcus?
what is it?
It's called "I'm Gonna Miss Her." It's basically
How old
it's a
is it?
story. It's probably older than me.
No, then I have no clue. I'm gonna miss her by Brad
Basically,
Paisley.
Brad Paisley isn't that bad. What?
No, is it? I'm gonna miss her by Brad Paisley.
Was it by Brad Paisley?
It was
I
released in
can't remember.
2002.
No, it's a. Oh, that's he did a cover of it. The original
Oh,
one I think was much older.
oh, okay.
But basically, it's about a guy who like goes fishing every day, but doesn't catch anything. Then his wife tells him like, if you go fishing tomorrow, I'm leaving you. They're like, well, I'll miss you,
I mean,
and then goes off fishing.
my favorite part of
I love
country,
that.
unironically, my favorite part of country music is when they sing about like they just sing about like beer and like trucks, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, fuck
What's a
yeah.
what, tell me a good country song you listen to.
Fuck me. I'd have to. I love. I say it jokingly, but Red Solo Cup is fun to me. I enjoy Red Solo Cup.
Red Solo Cup is a cultural song. Like it just exists in the zeitgeist.
It's
Everyone
an
has heard it
awesome
at least
song.
one point.
There's a few, but I can't remember the names of them. My grandmother used to listen to. What's her fucking face? Is it Carrie Underwood? Is she the one that used to do
She's
country?
done some good stuff.
Is she the one that does country?
I think so.
I dug
If
my
I had a
key
million dollars,
into the side of this pretty, like that song.
yeah. Oh, and then there's also "If I Had $1 Million." My grandma and I loved that song. Used to hear it on the radio after church all the time.
I like all the country songs that hate on the darks. Fuck y'all know about Glen Campbell.
Ironically enough, I don't listen to black music. My dad, though, absolutely loves his Tupac.
I'm not a rap guy. I'm not a big rap guy.
I tried getting into it when I was younger because my dad listens to it, and I just like it's just not. It just doesn't hit for me.
Joel is a Darius Rucker all together.
I think that just means you're allergic to nuts, Cowboy John. If you have a cashew allergy, doesn't that just mean you're allergic to nuts? A cashew is a nut, isn't it?
Yeah, but it could just be. Is it just specific to cashews? Possibly. Is that like
Can you have
normal?
Can you be specifically allergic to a type of nut? I thought it was just nuts in
Rap is
general.
overrated or overhated. I think rap is. I think rap is properly rated because I think there is a very mass group of people who hate rap, and there's also a very mass group of people who over exaggerate it and make it out like it's like this great thing.
And
So
I
I
think
think
it's just
it's like
because I also think rap gets more like attention because of the artists, because rappers often get into trouble.
Toy Adam. Toss me Cheeto lineman. By the time I get to Phoenix.
by the time I get to Phoenix, are these two different songs? I'm confused. Let's see.
I think the comma separates two songs.
That's what I was thinking. All right. Thank you for the two, by the way.
That is so weird. I didn't know you could have a specific allergy to cashews.
By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. find the note I left hanging on her door.
You like this kind of music?
She'll laugh
Me
when she
personally,
reads the part
not as
that
much.
says I'm leaving. 'Cause I've left that girl so many times before. By the time I make Albuquerque, she'll be working. She'll probably stop at lunch and give me a call. But she'll just hear that phone keep on ringing off the wall.
Okay, never mind. I do kind of enjoy
That's all.
the
The
slow.
melody is really nice.
By the time I make Oklahoma, she'll be sleeping. She'll turn softly and call my name out low. Oh, and she'll cry just to think I'd really leave her. Though time and time I've tried to tell her so, she just didn't know I would really go.
I can like ruin your days with a dono. Yeah, because you dono for fucking 100 gags. It's I gotta be honest. Old country absolutely slaps new country.
You know what genre of music actually is super amazing that more people should listen to? Old school jazz.
Oh, jazz is great.
Like from the friggin' 40, from the 20s and 30s. Like, oh my god, some of those beats are epic. Love it.
This is the second one.
Let's hear it.
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the whine.
I know what song you're talking about, Gamma. I like that song.
Is still on the line. I know I need a
A
small
huge variety I listen to in jazz, Big Aaron. But what I do listen to, what's his name? Old Train, Coal Train, something like that. It's something my dad showed me. I've listened to that a few times.
Nathan Troy Adams. I'm so sorry, Marcus. 2 songs,
And
please.
I need you more than want you.
Okay, Raven.
And I want you.
You know what he's gonna
Just
ask?
give it to me. Just give it to me.
You know what he's gonna suggest?
No, I know. Ooh.
Is still on the line.
Yes, Big Aaron, that's the name.
Dude. This is not gonna be good.
What did he send you, Marcus? I'll have to look that up. Big Aaron, Bill Evans Trio. I'll have to look that up. Oh, and also the Rap Pack too. They did some good songs. I don't think they're really jazz though.
and the Wichita lineman is still on the line.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Ben. I've been playing it this whole time.
Well, we went from like a nice soothing song to we're gonna get ready for this one. I already know this is gonna be a fucking terrible song. I already know this is gonna suck. Okay.
Don't be so mean.
Maybe it won't suck. Maybe it'll be alright.
You never know. These guys open for MCR.
No. No, this is not. This is by Femtinol.
Wait, the chatter?
I don't know. It's by somebody named Femtinol. It's got 7 million listens.
I don't understand what I'm listening to, quite frankly.
You know what? I'll actually be honest. It's better than some of the other shit Abby's given me. So
Abby gives you good music.
Abby gives me brat music.
Can't be any worse than fucking Puddle with a Stir It Up Tuesday.
I was gonna say, Big Aaron, it's better than. It's basically drum and bass. Yeah. I thought it was gonna just be like the music starts just to completely crumble.
I mean, I've heard worse.
But it kind of feels more like a techno-esque.
That's alright, I've heard worse.
Yeah, I think I've heard worse. This is not that bad. I was more on the, I thought it was gonna turn into like one of those like 100 Gex songs where the song literally just starts going like, and it starts sounding like a fucking horror movie, like as if you're just having like a terrible nightmare. It's screeching like metal noises in your ear. I thought it was gonna do that, but that just felt like it was like I was at a party. I just kind of felt like I was at some like maybe like a rave or a party or something. It wasn't too bad.
You've never been to a rave.
I'm not a fan of them. Not a fan.
You never been to one.
Never been, but I have a lot of friends who go to them.
You are way too innocent to have ever gone to one of something like that.
I have a lot of friends who go to them, and they explain.
No, I believe that. I just can't
don't like
picture someone like you being at something like that.
Oh no, it
just seems like so far out of your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's not really something I. Well, one, the music's not my type of music, so it's like I don't. It's just not like something I'd go to.
You just strike me as the kind of guy that would enjoy a rave.
No, I don't think I would. I have a lot of friends who say that raves you kind of need to enjoy with drugs, and like I'm not gonna take drugs, so.
Because you're a good boy.
Plus, every person I know that goes there, they dress like really slutty, and I'd probably just go in like, I'd probably just go in like a nice pair of jeans and a nice shirt, and I just look like I'd probably try to look like a gentleman, you know. I wouldn't really try to go all dressed out, looking all like, you know, dude, the women dress really Like there's like basically nothing on. I'm a little surprised.
Well, I think it's because it's a high energy atmosphere. They want to be like, less close so they can move around a lot.
Yeah, they've explained that like because usually
Like
raves
a
you're
rave
in
is
a
apparently
big-
like very, very active. Like you're
it's very
really
active,
moving around a
so
lot.
they recommend to wear like little to no clothing because like you're gonna be like some people pass out, so you kind of need to have like you need to breathe. You kind of need to breathe. So
No, I used to do a decent amount of clubbing when I was younger, but I haven't gone to like a club or a bar in
I don't know
probably
if I've ever
fucking 10
been.
years.
I don't know if I've ever been to like a club. I don't know. I have no clue.
It depends how you even define a club. It's such a loose wording of it.
Yeah, I don't know what counts as a club because I think I might.
Basically, it's where you go to drink and dance, and there's no food being served.
Okay, so just drinks and dancing. Then I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
been to one. Then I've never been to one. Then
The clubs don't usually serve food.
yeah, I've never been to one. Then Raven, you have one more by the way. If you wanted it, you said 2 songs in your dono, but you only gave me 1. So I'm a little confused. Saw those ladies at the club and his eyes grew 10 times the size, his mouth dropped open and his tongue rolled out like a great carpet. It's
Good
weird.
ass
It's weird
reference.
because my friend when I say like I have friends who rave, oh Jesus Christ. You know what? I actually fuck with this song. Because it makes me think of the dance. That like fucking white guy.
Well, Marcus, look at your little dog avatar as the fruit goes behind him.
Yeah, they phase through me.
No, but you can see the color through your stitches.
Yeah, I know.
That's so
awesome.
funny.
Nathan Soy Adam.
I want money.
I want money.
I can't really give you that, man.
All right, well, I'm gonna get off this call for the night, Marcus. It is quite late, actually. Probably should be going to bed soon.
Okay. I'll let you go, Captain C.
Well, unless you want to talk about some other stuff. Well, or are you getting off soon too? Like, are you getting off?
I actually do have to get up pretty soon. I'll probably listen to these songs and then I probably have to get off.
Are you online tomorrow?
I am. Earlier tomorrow.
Don't forget tomorrow's Tuesday.
Oh, it is Tuesday.
So you know who was going to be in chat ready for his usual weekly ritual.
I know.
I love how he's like just like a figure in the community. Like we all know every Tuesday he shows up.
Yeah, every Tuesday he's here.
All right, well, thanks for the chat, Marcus. I appreciate it. That was a good talk.
Yeah, of course. It was nice. It lasted the whole stream.
All right, well, have a good night. Bye.
Bye. I fuck with that song only because of the dance. It makes me think of the guy. Let's see. Let's listen to this one. Is it Chris? No, Puddle. You know, stir it up. Nate, shut your dirty... Oh, I'm not gonna say it. Stir it up. Stir it up.
It's the first time that I think I deserve this. I don't remember the last time I got nervous. Yeah, I need a crown, yeah, give me the crown. I've been working, I'm learning. I do what I want, I get what I need.
Crystal is the pinnacle of Pokemon. Way to pick one of the worst versions, buddy. can't even spell Zoomer Core right. Jeez. Oh, Zoomer Cope. Oh, okay. Why are we talking about Puddle like he Voldemort?
Nathan Toy Adam. You don't understand my hatred for the dark ones.
Thank you for the 3, Raven. I mean, these songs are like okay. These last 2, you know, this black guy, they're okay. Mason Troy Adams. All right, let's see what this one is. Okay. This one might not be that good. No, it's Mason Troy Adams, Ben. This beat is garbage. Yeah, this one's not that good, man. You know what? How do I put this? I don't hate hyperpop. I think I'm being too harsh. I don't hate hyperpop. I think there is some forms of hyperpop that do sound probably pretty good to me. I just don't like it when it's like 100 gex where it like breaks completely and it just sounds like horrors unimaginable to like what is the saying? It just sounds like a horror movie. Sounds like somebody's being like torn apart in the back with like a chainsaw. That's when I don't like it. I feel like there's other forms of it that do sound like pretty good. It's just got a shitty beat pattern that isn't catchy at all. And to be fair, I don't think this one's hyperpop. I think this one's just an assumed pop. I'm assuming this is just regular pop music. I don't know what genre this would even be catered under. Okay, let's see. This one is Alice in Chains, so this one's completely different. By the way, Raven, just to let you know, no more songs after this, alright? I do gotta go after these songs, okay? I do gotta go after these. Bye, Gamma. One more? No, don't worry. I'll play your songs. I'm just saying no more donations. The donate if you want to donate, if you do want to donate, just know the songs will be carried on over to the next day, okay? Because I gotta go after this. You can have your 3 here. I'm just saying after these 3. Oh, this is a good song right here. Oh, this is a good song right here. Like the coldest winter chill, heaven beside you, like the coldest winter well, heaven beside you. This is Natecore. This is actually Natecore. Hold on. Fucked up. Yeah, this is Alice in Chains. Well, if I requested it, you'd have called it Boomet or Boomer. Nuh-uh. I would have said it's Divorced Dad core, which it is. This is definitely Divorced Dad core. But this is definitely Nate core. This is Nate core. This is the Melvins. I should have a fucking band called the Melvins. It'd be fucking awesome. Nate core for a Nate whore, Mira. True. The Melvins were one of the first grunge bands. Wait, actually? Marcus thinks Queen and Freddie Mercury stole Under Pressure from Vanilla Ice. What? I never said that. What? I get now. I feel awesome. I'm the cherry. I'm the cherry. You sure are, Fox. You sure are. Actually, I don't even know if anyone's claimed the cherry yet, so Fox can't be the cherry. What's so extreme, huh? True, what is so extreme? What's so extreme about the Melvins? The phrase Nate core for a Nate whore, Mira. The lead singer for the Melvins is the super short guy with the giant fro. That seemed a bit extreme. That's not extreme, man. What the hell, man? What the hell, man? Okay. What? No, that's not the next song. It's this one. Wait, is this freaking... What is this?
Distant flickering, screen of scenery. I swear that's bringing it all back again. Great adventures, faces in condensation. I'm going outside to take it all in. You say too late to start, got your heart in a headlock. I don't believe any of it. You say too late to start with your heart in a headlock. You know you're better than this.
Is this Imogen Heap? Yes. This is.
Unexpected smile with big intention, still post
If Mira was here, she'd say she's a Nate whore. True. Okay, I actually do fuck with this song. She switched names, I see. Frofro? She Frofro before? I'm not Southeast Asian enough. What is she, Southeast Asian? Nate, when if you put your mind to it, you could be Southeast Asian. You just gotta try. Imogen Heap is English. You know Imogen Heap, Marcus? I do not. I just know this song from like all those edits that people make. You guys are probably not gonna like the last song. I said edit, I didn't say meme song. I said this is like this is the song that people put in like edits for tier lists. Literally, people put this song in edits for tier lists. Now Nate's just throwing slanderous claims around. By the way, hi, Rekahedron. Last song incoming. Okay. Oh God. I'm scared. I'm scared. I mean, so far it's okay. No, Frofro and Imogen Heap are different people.
Enemies pursuing me that had a way they can't reach. Can't be angry, some peace you just can't teach. When I'm put up under pressure, gotta let
It
that
seems
pain
they are
preach.
two different people.
I
It
got
seems.
scores of war stories they ain't see. They threw me lemons.
Oh,
I bit
no,
them,
no,
victory
they're
tastes
not.
sweet. Goodness and
Frofro
mercy,
is
I
an
swim in that
electronic
minute waist
duo
deep. He should
of
weep. How can this man
Imogen
sleep?
Heap and another
Hey, it's
guy.
levels to this
And then
legacy. My
Imogen
father's
Heap
father said to me, "I'm
made
cut from
songs
different
probably
pedigree,
separately.
but spoke my tailor's
Okay,
specialty. He
I
spoke.
see.
In the valley of the shadows where them weapons be, I woke. This morning saying I'll let lepers
Or were.
lecture me.
They
Take
were
up
a
my
duo.
bed and walk.
They were a duo
Hold
and
my
then
head,
they
I fought.
weren't.
Arrows and pharaohs and bullets flying from barrows. Hey, this that Jedi talk. Just check my marrow. A force for good, I bet I'm bought.
This is just a very... God, this is an underwhelming song. I don't know, it's not my type. This is a song of the black variety. Can I end the stream with a good song? Raven, you ran out of songs, man. You ran out of songs, brother. I don't know what to tell you, man. Let Joel do it. Okay, fine. I'll let Joel do it. I'll let Joel do it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll let Joel do it because this was not a banger. This was not ending on a banger. All right. That was not a banger. And I know bangers. I know bangers. Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with a little bit of Outcast. Hide and Seek, Imagine Heat, Marcus. You know that song? I do. I'll have to listen to it off stream. I mean, how can you go wrong? You can't.
It's showtime at the Apollo minus the Kiki Shepherds with about a hoe in the leopard print. Teddy, Pendergrass, cooler than Freddie Jackson, sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm. Left I throw warm in the dorm room at the AU. We blew hate to athletes might cake you, but you must have me mistaken with them statements that you make,
I'm gonna outcast you to an island with cannibals. Okay, fuck you, guy. Fuck you, guy. Fuck you, pal. Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy, fuck you.
Dip my rim today so they can ride out to the honeycomb hide out. I'm showing you how to wild out like Jack Tripper. Let me be Bambino on your slippers. YKK on your zipper. Lick you like a lizard when I'm slizzard. A sober. 6 million ways to fold ya. Like Noah, I get twos of views and you get pretty deep. But I call your ass from 80s. I know you'll be there for me, girl.
You know, it's been a while since I've actually used this. It's been a while since I've used this. Stream ending. Let's see if I can find somebody to raid.
Those huge baby eyes get to running off at their mouth and telling me everything that's on your nasty mind. They say you're malnutrition, then need a vitamin D, and inviting me to that tingle in your spine. I love who you are, love who you ain't. You're so Anne Frank. Let's hit the attic to hide out for about 2 weeks. Rick James and no chains and whips. I do suck lips to hips jerk and double time. The boy next door.
Yeah, Rezzy's gonna be the guy I res into. Raid into. Marcus has to leave before Riri reactivates the shock pumpkin he's wearing. I thought it was a shock cape. Yeah, it's my cape, bruh. Look it. It's a cape, right?
I got a stick and want your automatic. Compatible, created in the attic. We are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. The sky is falling, ain't no need to panic.
Res into. Yeah, we're gonna res into Rezzy. I'm splooging. No. I told you if you don't know one more, man, we're not doing it. You're gonna have to wait for tomorrow. Oh shit. You're just trying to keep me around longer than I'm supposed to. So fresh and so clean. Oh yeah. Perfect way to end the stream. Bye.